always having bad luck. You think you're going crazy. Look up, there's a new life waiting. Your head's buried in the sand. You've been dealt the wrong hand. Can't imagine how you feel. Only you know that it's real. Don't look back, just carry on, carry on, carry on. Don't look back, just carry on, carry on, carry on. Because you are stronger. Yes, you are stronger. Because you are stronger. Yes, you are stronger. Yes, you've had it quite tough, always having bad luck. You think you're going crazy. Look up, there's a new life waiting. Your head's buried in the sand. You've been dealt the wrong hand. Can't imagine how you feel. Only you know that it's real. Don't look back, just carry on, carry on, carry on. Don't look back, just carry on, carry on, carry on. Because you are stronger. Yes, you are stronger. Because you are stronger. Stronger.
Sound resumed.
Hello and welcome everybody once again back finally after a bit of a hiatus to the Vespa League stream, and this is the first final we have to bring you today, and it is the first game of finals week, and it is the Conference League final that we'll be bringing you as the first game today. My name is Aladar and with me is Waffle.
Hello everyone. Now we have two teams, Aliandra Esports and Small Loans. On both teams we have Bilio? That's his name? Yeah. Bilio, Swine in the top lane, Aziprox 5. Oh. I think we are having audio issues on Aladar's part, so I'm gonna continue to say the names of the players. They have Kaki and Aziprox 5 in the jungle, Freezcan and Loco 64 in the mid lane, Deze D Greenover as ADCs, Soro 4 and Demoro 9 as the supports. We also have the bands now. Aldar, you're back?
Yeah, hi, sorry about that. I for some reason could not hear anything at all. I am now able to hear once again, and I'm back. So
Okay.
what did you get through? Did you introduce me?
Basically, I said the team's players.
Okay.
We have now the bands completed on both sides. Listen, Trundle, Listen, Azir, Brand, Trundle, Echo, Gragas on the respective teams.
Mhm.
We're gonna probably see a very strong pick going for the Daily Under side on the first pick. What do you think they will choose?
Well, Malzahar is open, and Malzahar has been quite the problem in solo queue, but I don't know whether that quite works on the competitive stage. We'll have to see. I mean, I imagine most of these bans will be... Well, actually, they seem to be fairly decent bans for the most part in terms of meta champions that are OP right now, but I imagine they'll be kind of really target ban based as well. Maokai is going to be the first lock-in for Eliandra.
Maokai is a very strong pick on the top lane with that sustain that basically allows him to tank an entire team alone.
Mhm.
We also have Lucian and Nidalee on the side of Small Loans, picked up for Kaki and Greenover.
Yep, and Kake's Nidalee, for those who don't know, well, at least it was last time I saw it, it was a thing of absolute beauty, and I'm very glad to be seeing it again. Kake, of course, has been playing, or did play a few games for Epic Avalanche in the Premier League, but he's on Small Loans now and will be participating in the Conference League final, and I'm really glad to see he's breaking out that Nidalee. On the other side, Braum has been locked in, and Kindred is the hover.
Let's see if Kindred can fare out against Nidalee. She can duel Nidalee quite well in the jungle, just kiting the jumps away. But let's see. Kake is very good on that champion, but and it's a Kindred lock, so that's gonna be an interesting fight in the jungle versus the Kindred. Obviously, you talked about the homing missile that is the spears from Kake.
Yeah.
It's quite scary, We have
Yeah,
Nautilus
absolutely.
over for the top lane, probably.
Yep, if they did lock in those two champions, Nautilus would be heading towards the top lane, and that would be Alistar in the support role, however. They do have 30 seconds remaining to see if they want to switch up any of those. There would be fairly tanky two champions to lock in at the same time. However, they have already got a fairly carry-oriented jungler, so it would make sense to see two mega tanks locked in. On the other side, Eliandra also quite tanky so far, and even Kindred, with that Lance Respite running, becomes sort of a pseudo-tank, because, you know, not being able to die, absorbing a lot of pressure on towards the Kindred, and meaning that those resources can't go onto the rest of the team, basically means it's functioning as a frontline tank. And Alistar has been locked in, and Nautilus as well now, so it will be exactly what you said, Nautilus to the top side, and Alistar in the support role for the Mora.
Now we have a hover for Lissandra on the mid lane for Eliandra. Lissandra is a very interesting champion. It can quite easily win lane pressure out the map, especially if he brings teleport. Let's see if he does that, but we have a Vayne, however. Against that team, it's not a very good pick, I reckon.
Okay, well, I mean, I do like the tank busting potential that the Vayne brings with that Silver Bolt's doing the true damage. However, putting a depth charge onto a Vayne means that no matter how slippery the Vayne is, she's going to be knocked up at some point, and then you can chain the CC into her. So if Swine is on point with those Nautilus ultimates, which to be honest, they're not that hard to hit, then DesAD, if he does look in the Vayne, which he has done now, could be in a bit of trouble for these team fights. And yeah, the Lissandra also makes sense to me because they seem that there's no mid laner locked in on the side of small loans right now, and Lissandra not that easily countered. There's no matchup for Lissandra, I don't believe, where she's just sitting there thinking there's no way for me to farm, I cannot do a single thing.
It's interesting because Vayne versus the top lane that they have can be very good because Vayne can tumble away from the piercing light and can dodge the headbutt. But later on in the game, if she wants to do something on in the team fights, she will have to play just perfectly and do not miss any positioning and try to shred those tanks, basically. We have an Orianna pick from the small lone side, running that cleanse to cancel the ult from Lissandra. We'll see if she can work out that lane. Now you have 30 seconds until we have the 3 minutes 3-minute delay. We're gonna talk about something. What do you want to talk about in those 3 minutes?
Well, I mean, we've obviously got the first thing we can easily talk about, which is, of course, those summoner spells, which are being brought to the game. And the fact that Loco has decided to go for that cleanse, which will be locked in any second now. I don't imagine he's going to be changing that to a teleport. It means that there's a 2-for-1 teleport discrepancy in favor of Eliandra. Now, while this is the Conference League, that still gives a significant tactical advantage. And if Eliandra are able to step up and use that advantage and make plays around the map using those global teleports that they have, then they could just run rings around small loans, given the fact that their mid laner just doesn't have a TP.
We can see that this team will probably focus a lot on the bot side, just because 2 teleports, Kindred that goes really fast in the jungle. We'll see, because now we have the Drake, a very strong objective now. On that bot lane, if they get any picks on the bot lane, okay. I've just got a notice from the streamer that the teams are on the wrong side on the champion select, so we apologize for that. Basically, what was I saying? The Drake.
The focus towards the bot side and the Drags.
Yeah, the Drakes are very important now. There's 4 of them: Infernal, Mountain, Cloud, and Ocean, right? In my opinion, Infernal is one that helps you a lot in the early game, just because it's a little boost of damage that the old team gets. So we'll see if what Drake spawns first. That's very important to see. Also, Kindred with the damage that she can output, the percentage damage on Drake, she can do it very easily. But we also have the Rift Herald on the other side of the map that was changed also. So it's a very important buff because it gives you sustain in lane, especially for the solo laners, the top and mid. You can also get transferred to the jungle if she wants to invade Kindred. I don't think she will, but that could be an interesting plan on the Kake's part. So we'll see if they use that TP advantage and if Kake can make something happen on the other side of the map while they're doing it.
Yeah, no, going back to what you were saying about the bot lane focus, I think one thing that points that out even more is the fact that it is a Vayne, the hyper, one of the kind of stereotypical bot lane hyper carry that DesAD will be playing for Eliandra. So I imagine they'll be really putting a lot of eggs into his particular basket and seeing if he can carry them to victory in game one of what is a best-of-5 series. So even if either team wins this game, there is a perfect amount of chances, very many chances, for the other teams to come back and make it, 1-1 or, have reverse sweeps, all that sort of good stuff.
And we're going to the summoning now, when we'll see the masteries in a sec, so we can talk about a bit about them. I think they'll probably be very standard masteries. What was it called? The mastery for the top lane.
Grasp the Undying?
Grasp of the Undying, yeah. Will be obviously picked up by Maokai and Nautilus. Strength. You can pick strength on the Kindred, but I've seen Fervor also run.
Yeah.
I've seen also Thunderlord, so there's a lot of choice in that. Are you loading
I can't
in?
see the champions yet, but I am on the screen. I imagine it will be Fervor of Battle, though probably for Kindred. That is the most common, at least of the ones I've been seeing. Here we go. Here come the champions, and it is indeed Fervor of Battle that Asprox will be running on that Shadowfire Kindred. Very good skin, that, actually, especially for a release skin. Yeah, I think nothing too special across the board. It's pretty much the masteries as you would expect. Strength of Aegis for Kake in the jungle, and both AD carries going for Fervor as well.
Yeah, both mid laners going for Thunderlords, and the supports going for the Bond of Stone, for that extra tankiness on their carries. We'll see. This game could be interesting on the part that they could focus on that bot lane, as I said. They can get a lot from that, but will they get a lot from that? Because if, for example, the 5 of them go bot lane, and the other 3 members of the teams from Small Loans push out the other lanes, mid lane and top lane, they can get like 2 towers if they want to. So that could be a strategy that they can rely on. Not the very the most effective strategy, obviously, but we'll see how they use their. Oh, and we are on the Summoner's Rift.
Are you we are with teams going to be going for relatively regular level ones. Actually, I believe Eliandra hoping to counter any invades that would be coming in here, setting up a bit of a 4-man bush of death. Sorrow a bit late to the party, but in he comes. However, I don't think it's going to be a very eventful party because none of the members of Small Loans are actually going anywhere near that bush, so kind of pointless really in the end. It does lose them a bit of time in the level 1, but I don't think it really matters. There's no lane swap shenanigans going on unless they want to get the lane swap for themselves. That's not very good synergy. I mean, unless they were planning to get it all one after the other one, but it's a good display of their mastery of their champions, and everyone in this game actually had either level 4 or 5 mastery on those champions, so I think we can expect to see some fairly slick plays.
Come on, guys, you just have to count down and be very synergetic on that part.
Really.
Come on, dudes. Okay, it's gonna be a pretty standard lane for level 1. They didn't invade; they just covered their lanes. Let's see. They won't get the level advantage on the Vayne, but they will get the pull on those Krugs. The bot lane from the Small Loans is going to get an advantage on Lucian. That's very important. Lucian level 2. It's a very important champion. But now, with the XP diminished, the XP gone from the sharing with the support, they won't get Alistar to level 2. So that's, and now, see, they are using that level 2 effectively.
Indeed. And getting a bit of damage in using the Light Slinger passive, all that good stuff. Greenover going for another auto attack onto Des AD, but he's not putting that much pain onto him right now. It's only level 1 Vayne. You feel like he could potentially go a little bit more aggressive if he wanted to here, but Sorrow doing a good job warding him off. A Winter's Bite going his way could damage him quite significantly, especially if they got those concussive stacks to proc. And One thing to note is that, as you can see on the minimap, the first dragon will be that infernal dragon, and I think it's probably the most exciting dragon to see on the map because, you know, damage always more exciting than anything else, right? Everyone loves damage, and I think it's actually probably perhaps Ocean Dragon, but I think this dragon is probably the most effective one as well.
You have also the Mountain Dragon. It's a good dragon to push out lanes and get some damage in the Baron buff and the Drake. As a friend of mine also pointed out a couple days ago, a friend caster, if you get to level 18 and both junglers are level 18 and you have 3 Drakes, if you smite, you get 1,300 damage on the smite, and he only gets 1,000.
Right.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Bonus damage.
Indeed it is. A bit of a trade there in the bottom side as the Morrow and Greenover went in, put some damage onto Deze, and Sorrow, but again, not too much. We are seeing a fairly significant CS advantage for Greenover so far. He's about 7 or 8 minions ahead right now, but that will be equalized as that big wave comes in towards the turret of Deze. Meanwhile, Swine, she's going for a heavy trade here with Blio. He might be in trouble actually, but he does get the sapling down and the arcane smash as well, and we'll be able to waddle on out of there in the end.
That was a very good trade on Nautilus side. He's gonna probably push out more of the lane, but we'll see if he can get more advantage on that lane. Obviously, the CS is even, but Nautilus has a bigger wave coming towards Maokai side, so he will probably pick that one up and get a bit of a lead on the CS side.
Indeed, and speaking of CS leads, if we look towards the jungle, we're already seeing a CS7 CS deficit for Kake in his favor against Asprox, and that is pretty much what you expect and what you're going for when you go the Nidalee pick. Actually, Asprox might be what you're going for when you go for the Kindred pick, as he comes up towards the top. But Blio went in a bit early, forcing the flash out of Astrox to just try and keep up, but they are getting a lot of damage down, and it will be the first blood of the Conference League finals going over to Eliandra and Asprox in the jungle.
And that's a very important kill on the top side. It will get a little bit of an advantage on Maokai side, and he was pushed out. He was not aware that Kindred was there, so he needs to be careful with that. Now he does have flash. Oh, he didn't use his flash.
Yeah, I think he thought he could get out with just a simple dredge line to the turret. I guess he wasn't expecting the jungler to flash after him so soon, perhaps, or something like that. But either way, he was caught off guard, and he did end up going down, which is the all-important matter, of course.
That's a very important summoner spell to use when you're getting ganked, because you're not gonna live if you don't use that spell. Also in CS leads, Lissandra is going for a bit of a CS lead, now with 6 minions over Orianna, 10 on the bot side, on the ADC side. Lucian will become a bit of a problem on the bot lane, because Vayne being so squishy, she can... Oh, and Kake.
Okay, looking to pick up a return kill onto Asprox. He's only level 5, he doesn't have his ultimate available, no mana either. Oh, he gets locked up by Friskin just at the last second, but he still manages to leap through and get the kill. Sorrow finds himself in the middle of many different members right now, and I'm not sure he wants to be there. However, Kake did feel the need to flash away, and DesAD wasn't even heading up there. He just started towards the end, but if you feel like he went there a bit sooner, then he could have come and helped a little bit and maybe picked up an extra kill for himself, which might have been a bit more valuable than that 2 or 3 CS he managed to pick up on the bot side. However, he is working on setting up a freeze right now, so I guess he valued that over participating now.
There was a burn on the Lissandra's ult, so it won't be around for a bit. Obviously Kindred was level 5, so she couldn't Lamps Bite Lamps Respite, sorry, on the damage that Kake put out, and he managed to get the jump away and kill Kindred. So that's an important kill on Kake's side.
Yeah, I thought that had been an absolutely clutch save from Frickson there on towards Asprox and kept his jungler just alive, but it was not to be, and Kake was having none of it, coming through and securing that kill for himself in majestic fashion as we see him finishing off his Krugs and then heading back to base.
Kindred has one stack at the moment. She's gonna pick one more on that scuttle crab.
Yep.
We'll see if she can get those stacks fast, so she can stack that damage on the other team. Pink wards wise, we have a very defensive pink ward on the side of red, the red on the bottom side. We'll see if it spots out some type of gank on the bot lane, and the blue is picked up by Lissandra, the mid lane.
Indeed, and haven't seen any action towards the dragon just yet. It is a little bit early for that, perhaps, but not even a whole huge amount of warding going on around it. Kake is clearing out a pink ward right now, and Frickson looks to have something to say about that, but he rotates down too slowly, and Kake is able to pick that one up, and he's going to be clearing out all the wards as well in the dragon area. This could signal some intentions here for Small Loans as they start to prioritize this dragon area.
Kindred is now invading the jungle from Kake, and they will spot... Oh! No, and Kake gets disappointed. Well, the birds get stolen away by Kindred.
Just in time before Kake showed up to try and spoil the
Poor
fun.
cat.
Take his camp back. He is actually heading towards the top side instead, though. If Swine can bait Bleo into a bit of a fight here, he's trying to get into the fight now, but Bleo knows something's up. He flashes once the dredge line is going to be hitting him any moment now, but he doesn't actually throw it out. I don't think it was off cooldown yet, and Kake, well, he did significant damage to Bleo and did force him to burn his flash, wasn't able to pick up a kill.
That was a very important pickup on their side, because they got the flash from Maokai. It's a very mobile champion. He doesn't have any escapes if he gets a bit caught out. Oh, and they're going for that Drake.
Yep, it is already down to about a 5th health now, and the Moro is the only one who's here to contest. In comes Kake, but he's not there in time, and Asprox picks it up, but that is a good shockwave, and Kake gets one return kill. He's going to be picking up a second onto Sorrow any moment. Good Glacial Fissure, might have kept him alive for a second longer, but that is all. Asprox chasing after Kake, he's got the auto attacks, but he's low on mana, and Kake gets himself a triple kill now. Greenover was condemned into the wall, and thus couldn't follow up any further onto DesAD. But still, very good fight for Small Loans, despite the dragon going in Eliandra's favor.
Kake played that perfectly. He just jumped in, advancing with his Alistar, and picked up both kills and got a very good pick, despite the loss of the Drake. We'll see if they can use some of that advantage.
DesAD might be in a lot of trouble here. There's the ultimate for the Moro, and DesAD see you tomorrow. He's going to be going down, taken down by Greenover. Sorrow just about too late to help out his AD carry.
Alistar is a very good champion on that role. He can just at level 6 tank tower shot after tower shot after tower shot after tower shot. He can just tank so much that they can do that if the Vayne gets alone and Braum goes back.
Yep, absolutely. As we just saw in action there, a very good illustration of that, and that means that Greenover is going to be a huge amount of gold ahead of DesAD right now. Let's just check, see how much it is exactly. He's already 1,000 gold up on the opposing AD carry, and while DesAD does outscale him on that Vayne, that gold difference will matter very soon.
The most frightening difference is in the jungle. Kake is 1,000 gold over as a prox, so he's gonna.
Is this more gold for Kake right now? He actually decides not, and the dredge line actually hooked Bleo away from that spear anyway. So a little bit of a misstep there on the top side by Swine and Kake, and perhaps a little bit of a synergy issue, but nothing too major. Kake just cleared out the ward instead, and will hop straight back to his jungle power farming, as you do on Nidalee.
It's interesting because in the bot lane, Alistar can leave him alone, leave Lucian alone, but Braum, he can't do that. If he does, basically Lucian is gonna one-shot him and just pick up the kill and get even more ahead. So this bot lane is very dangerous on the side of Eliandre. They need to play it very safely and very well, so that Vayne won't be basically useless in the the late game. Vision-wise, we have a very aggressive vision push on the side of the small loans. 2 pink wards placed next to that Herald buff, so we'll see if they can do something with it. They are pinging around the area of the red. Like he's gonna be caught out.
I think he's gonna be alright. He's just clearing away the pink ward, and then he's gonna be hopping straight back in towards the river, and he's gonna be taking down that scuttle crab by the look of things, or at least a ward. I think he'll probably be getting the scuttle crab as well, because that would deny Mark of the Kindred there from Asprox, who has not had the best early game. After picking up First Blood, it's kind of gone awry from him since there.
Only 2 marks on that Kindred, so he's not gonna be the power Kindreds that that we know from solo queue that just destroy everyone. But we'll see if he can get a better lead on this game. In the mid lane, it's interesting how to see the matchup. They're playing very safely. They're not making any plays. Even if Lissandra has 1 death, she's not that far behind on gold. So they're just basically even. If they try to focus a bit on the mid lane, they can also get Lissandra a bit more strong and use that lead to power up the Vayne. We'll see if Kake is very aggressive and is going for that aggressive push on the bottom side jungle.
Once again, he just hops straight back over the wall as soon as he sees people heading towards him, because they do have some deep wards in that jungle, and that means that Kake can invade with relative safety, because he knows when other people are going to be coming and trying to collapse onto him. Yeah, no, as it stands, about a 2,000 gold lead already for small loans, and while Eliandra do have that one Infernal Dragon, which does mean that they have some stats which aren't quantified by gold, they are still significantly behind so far in this early game, and the fact that it's Kake on his signature champion who is so far ahead has got to be a big worry for them.
It's been a very passive game at the moment, so both teams are just farming away, just trying to get any lead they can and not fighting. So we'll see. Cause I just noticed that Kake went. Oh no, never mind. He went for Rod of Ages first item. So an interesting pick. We haven't seen a lot of mages in the jungle going Rod of Ages, even with that different passive on the side of the Rod of Ages. What is Catalyst of Aeons now? Yeah, I think so. It can give him a bit of a sustain in mana wise, but we'll see if he does something with it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he knows what he's doing, and I trust in him. I mean, I think he wants to be getting some pretty heavy AP for the Nidalee, because I mean he has so many of the kills right now. He's going to have to be a big portion of his team's damage. And there they go. They take down the Air Dragon on the bottom side. Meanwhile, Bleo and Swine having a bit of a slap fight on the top side. Bleo taking a few more turret shots than he perhaps would have liked to, but in the end, nothing doing, of course, because it is a classic top lane fight. So yeah, the Air Dragon probably the weakest dragon. I think everyone would pretty much agree that Air Dragon is the weakest dragon right now, especially considering the move speed is only out of combat move speed. However, it can help with rotations and that sort of thing if small loans want to get more macro with their players. We'll have to see if that's what they want to do, but taking the Air Dragon, you know, it doesn't hurt. It helps you get back to lane quicker, and it just makes it quicker sooner that the next dragon will come up. And I don't know what the next dragon's going to be. I'm just going to take a quick look into the pit right now. The next one will be an ocean dragon, which is, of course, a far more effective dragon. So now they've got the air dragon out of the way, they may be able to realign themselves in the next 6 minutes or so and try and take down the ocean dragon when it comes up.
It's interesting because Eliandre didn't even contest the Drake. They just left it alone just because it was the air dragon. It's not worth to fight for the Drake if you think you will lose a lot. So they just gave that away, and just didn't care if they picked up the Drake. We have Kake going around in the mid lane. Oh,
Frickson just used the glacial path. That means his flash is going to have to be burned, but he did flash out sharpish as soon as he saw the spear heading towards him. So good reactions from that man to make sure that he wasn't going to be Kake's 5th victim of the game so far. And we do see the bot lane, Greenover and the Morrow backing away now. And it's about damn time, because if you look at the gold that both the AD characters have in pocket, each one had about 3,000 before backing there. So as we see, an instant Essence Reaver has been finished up by Greenover now. He did only have the BF Sword before that, as well as the Ionian Boots of Lucidity also picked up, and he might have had regular boots before that as well. So, you know, a significant amount of power has just been gained by the AD carry of Small Loans. And you know what, the same could be said for Des AD on the side of Eliandra as well, but, you know, slightly less.
yeah. Also, it's interesting because he's not going the build that the Koreans are doing at the moment. You know that one with Yomu's Ghostblade, going for the Essence Reaver next, and it's called
The Black Cleaver?
Dex Drinker and everything.
Oh, right. Okay. No, I can't say I have seen it, actually. But...
That's a build that's been popping up, and it gives basically a lot of dueling power. Oh.
Oops, speaking of dueling right now, Greenover and Des AD going for it, but Des AD flashes in, but he auto-attacks the minion. That was not the target he was looking for, and that means that Greenover will be winning that fight only at the cost of his heal. Des AD burning his flash and his heal as well, and you know, there's gold that comes from that, but there's also the tilt factor for Des AD right now. He's the one who needs to carry on his team, and if he's going to be auto-attacking minions when he has the chance to finish off Greenover, then that's going to be getting into his head, and he's going to be feeling not quite so strong as he perhaps might be.
That was not very effective on the side of Des AD.
Yeah.
He needed to... Oh.
Additionally not effective here, as Prox going for an aggressive Dantavari straight into his jungle, checking it blind, straight into the cow, whose headbutt did move him out of the way of the spear and the culling, so perhaps, again, a little bit of a synergy issue there for the Small Loans, but they do force Asprox away, but Asprox did well not to have to burn anything when he didn't need to.
Kindred had that Lamp's Respite, so she would be safe for the most part, so it wouldn't be a pickup, it would be just a burn from the Kindred ult. We have the standard top lane fight, and they're trying to push mid and get the first tower in that mid lane.
Yeah, they've already taken the one on the bot side, now they're looking to take the one on the mid lane, but actually Frickson goes in there a bit aggressive. Morrow tanking up the turret, gets a big two-man pulverize off, and there's another two-man ability. That one's the shockwave. This time Frickson has to ulti himself up, but he's done it at the same time as the Lamb's Respite. Double invulnerability doesn't help you. One invulnerability is enough, and once again, perhaps a bit of a misstep there from these teams, as they kind of use a bit of an ability they perhaps didn't need to there.
That was an interesting fight. No one died on both sides. Mainly thanks to that Lamp's Respite and the ult from Lissandra. They tried to go inside their tower just because they had Alistar ult up. They managed to tank a lot, but they couldn't quite finish off with those types of ults on the side of Eliandres. You'll see, the next Drake is about to spawn.
Yeah.
Ocean Drake is coming.
Be here in roughly 30 seconds or so, and Rift Herald, no one picked him up this game. He returned to the void without anyone slaying him or doing him any harm, which I suppose is a good thing, though it might feel a bit lonely up there for him, and might feel a bit unwanted, especially considering he is generally considered to be a pretty strong buff right now, but no one's actually decided they were going to put that much pressure onto the top side or whatever, prioritizing the dragons instead, and so just went calmly back into the void, and Baron has appeared in his place. Meanwhile, here comes the Ocean Dragon, and once again it will be Small Loans to react to it instantly, while Eliandra, they're nowhere near. I mean, they're coming now, they're coming from the red buff area, but the closest thing they're off towards a steal is just the Winter's Bite over the wall, and that gets easily body blocked. They will trade it, however, the turret on the top side by Bleo, which isn't so bad after all.
This is 2 drakes picked up from the side of Small Loan, so they can use the Elder Dragon more effectively. The Elder Dragon now gives damage according to the number of dragons you killed, so if they pick up any Elder Dragon, they will deal more damage than if Eliandra's side picks the dragon, so
yeah,
we'll see what they can do with that. Ooh. Ward fights on the top side. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Thrilling stuff there between the two tanky champions, as you would expect. One thing I think to note here is what we noted in Champ Select about the fact that they were running a double TP composition against only one TP on the side of the Small Loans. Eliandra haven't made use of that in the slightest. I'm not sure I've seen either of those TP used to get back into lane. I'm sure they must have done at least once, but I can't think of a time I've seen those TPs, and that's, you know, when that's such a big part of your composition, TP flanks on Lissandra are so incredibly strong, and Frixen isn't even using that, and nor is Bleo using his TP either. I mean, they're just getting warped all over right now, and Small Loans, to illustrate my point, pick up another free turret in the middle lane, and there's no ward behind them, and Bleo doesn't try and TP in behind either. And now Bleo's going to find himself in trouble as we see the Rome squad coming up towards the top side. Moro's a little bit far behind, so he might not be able to tank the turret, but actually they give him time to catch up right now, and Swine starts the fight on towards Bleo. Depth charge goes in, Vengeful Maelstrom running, but they're using all their abilities on towards him right now. Here comes the TP finally, and it's Frixen who gets it. They didn't manage to pick up Bleo actually, and Kake, while his spear does a lot of damage to Frixen, decides he's not going to be going in on that one. However, oh, just at the right time. Once again, the double invulnerability, and it actually doesn't help Frixen all that much. Locks him in place when he could have been getting away. Moro tanking up the turret, but he can do that for decades. Frixen, how is he still alive? He actually took the path out. That's genius. He's going to stay alive for at least another moment here. Asprox dancing around, trying to get more damage back down on towards him. The Moro, he doesn't have his ultimate anymore, but Kake finds that kill. The Moro actually picked it up, and another kill comes through. Swine picks himself up the double kill, and now Small Loans, they pick themselves up 3 at only the cost of their AD carry.
Unfortunately, they couldn't get the fight over on their side, just because the ult from Alistar was so strong in that fight. Even so, Vengeful Maelstrom from Maokai was a very important spell on keeping him alive on that fight. He was just regenning with the passive and tanking the damage from the side of Small Loans. So he was a very, very important and tanky champion on that fight, and he could use that on other team fights to soak up the damage while his team dishes out their damage.
Yeah, but the fact that that fight still went in favor of Small Loans is a big problem, I think, for EYA right now, because, I mean, the Shockwave was used one man on Maokai, and that's the biggest team fight ability in this game, I'm pretty sure, right now. Maybe you could argue that Land's Respite, if particularly well-timed or whatever, but I do think that's a very crucial team fight ability, and the fact that it wasn't available for the team fight, that Small Loans won it pretty conclusively anyway, and they were against a turret, shows that EYA might be in a lot of trouble. Here comes a TP, and might be even more trouble, particularly for Bleo, as he gets hooked in now. Once again, Vengeful Maelstrom is there. Good double knock-up and a good triple shockwave there. People getting locked up all over the place. Kake chasing forward, but he's going to find himself turned on towards by Des AD. Des AD untouched so far in this fight, but he's gone uncomfortably close to the tanks right now. But he has so much health that it doesn't really matter. Greenover trying to take him down before he can get taken down in return, but he's going to have to dash away on incredibly low health. Des AD still alive. He's still surviving. He's going to have to try and get away. flashes out now. Loco and Swine chasing him down, but Bleo comes in on the backside, and look at his health. He's still basically at full, and he was the one the fight was initiated on towards. However, the fight still doesn't go in his team's favor. Despite all that, only Kake went down for Small Loans, and once again they picked up 3 in return.
Even so, Queen tried to pick up as most kills that she could, but she was melee range versus their tank. She can't do that. That's positional error. If she does that, and their carries are paying attention, they can just blow her up out of the Summoner's Rift, and she can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
She doesn't have any way to remove that CC. She hasn't picked up Mercurial Scimitar. She has picked up Rageblade. And this is interesting, because Rageblade was reworked. So it reads now: basic attacks grants 8% attack speed, plus 3 attack damage, and plus 4 ability power for 5 seconds. So she will get a lot of attack speed, a lot of attack damage, and also, additionally, she will deal 15 basic magic damage on hit. So we'll see if she can get any use out of that item. I've never seen this build as well, but I'm not used to this patch as well. So
yeah, no,
we'll
there hasn't been a whole lot of competitive play so far on this patch. Once again, absolutely free as you like. Dragon going over Small Loans, and EY, they're really not in a position to contest that right now. 3 kills to 12, a solid 6,500 gold behind, and luckily for them it was another Air Dragon, which they won't feel too awfully aggrieved about letting go, but still getting pretty speedy now, the side of the Small Loans.
But this means they have 3 Drakes, and if the next Drake in 7 minutes will be the Elder Dragon. If they pick that up, that's 100 and something damage, 135 damage if I'm not mistaken, with only 1 ability. That's a lot of damage coming Eliandra's way.
Absolutely. Something Alejandra need to be considering, but right now I don't think they can afford to do anything. They can consider all they like, but they're really so far behind right now that it'll just be futile consideration with no actual actions to be enacted as a result. And, you know, they have both TPs up, but they're all clumping as 5 together. They're not looking for any sort of flank which could potentially win them any team fight or anything like that. They're not trying to bait out any major summoners, any major abilities right now, and they're just kind of sitting here waiting for their turret to slowly go down, clearing waves as best they can, and just waiting for the inevitable to happen. And I think they need to be a bit more proactive if they are to have any hope of winning this first game.
They just need to chip away their health and try to get the turret down, and and we have a TP on the backside.
Oh, here we go. Just as I said, they weren't looking for any flanks. In comes Bleo, but he gets headbutted away. And a great pulverize as soon as he flashes in. Means that he has nothing to offer. Sorrow with a questionable ultimate at best there coming out of the Braum. Bleo finally finds Zingage, gets a 4-man knockup with the Arcane Smash. And he's tanking up a lot of damage right now. Asproc's exhausted. He's not going to be doing damage for a little while. Greenover going low, but there's AD. Once again, he's right in the center of everything, and that is not where he wants to be. Greenover still alive, not any longer. Bleo takes him down. Kake healing up his teammates and trying to help. A good shockwave lands on towards 3. Braum incredibly low. Kake does go down now. It was Asprox who picked it up. Asprox, he's still alive and he's got red buff. He uses the ultimate at a good time there, keeps himself alive. Moro's going to be going down. This fight's good for Eliandra. Loco, he is going to get the return kill though, because the turret shot followed Asprox. A bit of a misplay at the end of what was an excellent fight for Eliandra there. 2 for 3 going in their favor at this point is absolutely insane.
That's exactly what was it. They play that accordingly to their strengths. They kited with their abilities and try to get the most damage out of their players. But in the end, they got the upper hand and got 3 kills for 2. So there's a bit of a misplay on the side of Small Loans. We'll see if they can use this bit of an advantage to get back into the game. And we have
yeah, I
a
think there's
ping.
still a... Yeah, true.
We have a ping on the Baron side, so we'll see
Yeah.
if they want to pick that up.
They do scale relatively well. Asprox will scale pretty well into the late game, and DesAD will, of course, scale immensely well. And on the other side, there is a bit of a lack of scaling for many of the Small Loans members. I'm not sure Nidalee scales all that well. Lucian, while he scales better than he used to, he's still primarily a mid-game AD carry, and won't be able to stand up to DesAD come the late game, unless he has the Elder Dragon buff, of course, which, it looks like Small Loans will be able to pick up if they try and target towards that once it comes up, and that would be, that would negate all of the problems with their team comp in fighting in the late game.
You forget also the damage that comes up with a good shockwave coming from Loco. So
True.
if he gets a very good shockwave in any team fight, they're basically winning their team fight. No questions asked.
And I do think Eliandra, they are going to require a few more team fight wins like the one they just had if they're to have any hope of getting back into the game still. And we are seeing the Small Loans baiting around Baron right now, but there is a ward in the Baron pit for Eliandra, and so they will know if it's been started up, and it has indeed. They're not even going to bother to clear out that ward, Small Loans, but they are just going to start it up and then immediately disengage as soon as they see Sorrow coming in. In comes Bleo as well, tanking up a lot of damage. Frickson coming around to the backside, does have the depth charge on towards him. The shockwave only lands on one. That's a problem once again for the Small Loan. Swine going down, another problem for them. One of their tanks is down, another might be going low now. They did get a return kill, but once again DesAD picks up another one. Asprox still on towards the Moro, whose ultimate has run out there. He's going to be slowed down. They're going to be chasing towards him. Greenover does manage to negate the pressure coming on towards his support and will force the disengage in the end. But once again, Eliandra win the team fight.
And this once again was another pickup for Eliandra's side. The gold lead is shrinking, so. And they're gonna get another tower in the mid lane, so this is dire for the side of Small Loans. They need to focus and try to focus their carries because they're not getting Vayne at all. So
yeah,
we'll see if they can do that.
However, Elder Dragon will be spawning any moment now, and Eliandra look like they're going to be backing away. So if that of the Small Loans are able to nuke it down quickly enough, then that could be problems for Eliandra, but they realize what's going on. They realize they need to be hanging around. It takes a long time to kill right now. It's almost comparable to Baron in how long it takes. Look at the health it's got, and
no
they've only just
TP
started
on the
chipping away
side.
at it.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's no TP on Lissandra.
Yeah, she is coming in, and she'll be quite a long way before she gets here right now. Sorrow going low, and he's nuked straight down by Luca there. He picks that one kill at Lance Spike, keeping everybody alive on both sides right now. But DesAD, as soon as it goes, he goes down. So does the rest of his team. It's only Frickson alive all of a sudden, and, it was looking so good for Eliandra. They thought they were coming back into the game, but now they just get wiped.
That was a very interesting way of fighting. They just tried to bait out the four players that were there. Oh, a bit of a misplay on their part.
There we go.
Well, oof. Okay, don't worry, guys. We got this. We got this.
Indeed.
So, as you can read on the mark of the Elder Dragon, it's 45 plus 45 per stack of Elemental Dragon. So they have 3 Drakes. So that's 3 times 45. That's 140. 40? No, something like that. That's a lot of damage, basically.
Indeed,
and they get
a lot
the Baron
of
buff
damage.
as well.
That they do. It is already about a third of the way through the Elder Dragon mark that they have on them right now, but now they've got the Baron buff as well, because they're able to pick that one up with the extra damage they could get, and the fact that no members of Eliandra were up to say anything about it means that, that'll be lasting for a long time as well, and they have suddenly earned themselves almost back up to a 10,000 gold lead right now. This gold lead is higher than it was at any point earlier in the game before Eliandra had that sort of mini comeback, and yeah, once again, I think that must be curtains for them at this point, although I did think that earlier and they were able to win a couple of team fights, almost bring it back. I do think it's going to be a real struggle for them right now, particularly if the side of the Small Loans force a fight while they still have this dragon buff on them.
And this is a very crucial push on their side. Oh, and that tower fell down so quickly.
Bye bye. That's without even
Jesus.
any Earth Dragons or anything like that. But
That
or
was
Mountain
what,
Dragons.
3 hits from oh. Yep.
Frickson might be in some trouble, but he actually tries to turn it around on towards Kaka, who does flash away, wasn't tanking the turret, and such a huge amount of damage came through for Frickson there. He's not going to be able to clear the wave either, and a flash in from Swine means that Frickson's going to be going down before he can be saved by the Landro Spike. So is Asprox, so is Sorrow. This is curtains now for EYA. There's absolutely no way. Des AD, if he goes down, that will be the game now. Surely Bleo, he can try and play time as much as he can, but I don't think it's going to matter. He's going to proxy away the minion wave to try and prevent them from ending the game, but I don't think they need the minion wave to end this one here. The turrets, they go down so quickly, and game 1 of the final of the Conference League will be going over to Small Loans.
Again, that was basically the game won by dragons. Those dragons were so crucial. Even if they were the air dragon, it gave them a lot of damage in the late game and a lot of potential to get a lot of damage. That's the important part. We'll see if they can keep this up on the next game. You want to say anything else about this game?
No, I mean, we saw the way Eleandra got nuked in that last team fight there. We saw the power of the Elder Dragon in action. I believe they still had it on them, and it was just so much damage in such a quick burst there. And I'm not surprised to see that the most damage in the game was dealt by Loco. He was landing some pretty huge shockwaves throughout the game, and usually on 2 or 3 targets, but right at the right time to do a whole heap of damage and make sure his team won the vast majority of the team fights at least. So congratulations to the Small Loans for picking up the first win of the day here. However, it's a best of 5, and they will need to show some resilience if they are to win the Conference League itself. Join us soon for Game 2.
He's a gunner.
Oh, hello and welcome back, everybody, to what is soon to be Game 2 of the Vesper Conference League final between Team Small Loans on the blue side and Eliandra Esports on the purple side. My name is still Tasty Alda, and with me is still Mighty Waffle.
Well, hello everyone. Let's see how this game pans out. We're just waiting for them to start, and they
There we
just
go.
did. We'll see the bans coming from both teams. Also, we have some issues on the side of Smallon, so we need to wait for a restart.
Yep, so we're just going to have that little bit of a restart coming through. Swine just has to restart his, I assume his client rather than his PC, so it shouldn't be too long before he's back, and then we can, once they're back in order, get back underway again. But yeah, no, when we get into pick and bans, what I'm expecting to see is I'm expecting the Nidalee ban, pretty much as the first ban from Eliandra. I'd be very surprised if they don't ban Nidalee, now that they've seen what Kake can do on it, and, you know, if it is open, I'm pretty sure he's going to be picking it every time. So unless they have a strategy that they've come up with to deal with it, then, I don't know, it could be troublesome for them. To make sure they get in the right order before they get back into the thing. Here we go, they should be just setting themselves back up, and we should be back into the picks and bans any moment, if they can work out how to get into the right order without messing it all up. They haven't done that. Come on. Okay, Loco needs to lead. He's the mid laner. Out he goes. Then Green
They're
over.
quite confused.
And then... Wait. No, that's still wrong.
What?
There we go. Okay.
Good
Finally,
job, guys.
the Small Loans... Well, they did win Game 1. They have lost at getting into order. You know, League of Legends skills high. You know, general cognitive function low. They're going to see the first ban being Echo coming through, which is why he's finally able to do.
Okay, that's a normal ban on the for the top lane, because tank Echo is very strong in this meta. Alistar banned from the side of Eliandra.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Moro did have a very good showing, actually. I believe he was 1-1 and 21 or something like that towards the end of that last game, so that was a strong showing, to say the least, on Alistar, and, you know, he got a bit overshadowed there, and perhaps I didn't give enough credit, because he did have a really, really good game on that champion, so I'm, again, not surprised to see that one banned. I imagine at least one of these bans has to be the Nidalee, though. Trundle on the other side, another standard OP ban run out. Azir is still being banned out, and so only leaves them with one more ban with which to ban Nidalee if they're going to do so, and if not, then I imagine Kake is just going to take it, unless Asprox thinks he might be able to take it away from him.
They're very afraid of that Zero, also on the side of Loco, so we'll see if they get the Nidalee ban now. Probably no. 10 seconds. You can do it, William, man.
Yeah.
It's the only way you.
They're clearly discussing who they want to ban,
alone.
and that is not what I was expecting to see at all. They banned out the Zed away, so Loco won't be able to pick that one up in the mid lane either. And once again, the Maokai is going to be the first pick, just as it was last game, but this time it's going to go to the side of the Small Loans.
Maokai, of course, a very strong champion on the top lane, very with a very high sustain. It's a very, very strong pickup. They could have picked that Nidalee and secure it for Kake, but if they're not going through that road, because they played it once, now the Eliandra is gonna expect it, so maybe it's gonna be Kindred again, hovering from Eliandra. So
yeah,
we'll see if they pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be surprised to see them pick... Well, I wouldn't be that surprised to see them pick it up again, but Asprox had a bit of a lackluster game, I'd say, in Game 1 on the Kindred. I mean, it wasn't terrible. He got some decent lands respite stuff, but at the same time, it really wasn't a high-impact pick like he would have hoped that it would be, and we're going to see the Lucian taken away from Greenover, who had it last game, and was, once again, able to put a pretty strong performance through with that. There is the Nidalee, which has been let through so far, and I can't imagine Kake letting that one slide. He's picking it for himself, so he has the power if he really wants to. He can, even if his team are telling him, you know what, pick someone else. But no, he's going to be locking in the Nidalee. I'm sure they were trying to get him to pick Nidalee anyway. And Braum as well, going over to the Morrow, which Sorrow did play last game. He played a decent Braum, missed a couple of ultimates, and we'll see if Morrow is able to hit them more.
Let's see if it was. Wait. Brown was on the side of Eliandre, right?
No, Sorrow was playing Braum on this. Yeah, he was. Yes, sorry, yes, he was on the
Okay.
side of Eliandre.
Okay.
Indeed.
They took Brown because it's a very strong pick with Lucian. He can use the stacks very rapidly, so it's basically a steal from their team, taking away that Brown so that they can't use the bottom lane very effectively.
Yeah.
We have a Bard hover on the side of Eliandra.
Ooh, Bard Lucian would be a strong laning phase indeed. We'll see if that's what's going to be locked in. I believe it will be, so we should be able to see some pretty heavy amounts of scrapping in the bottom lane, unless Greenover picks an appropriately safe AD carry to make sure that that's not going to be able to punish him too hard. Nautilus is the other lock-in, so once again I'll be saying the Nautilus-Maokai matchup in the top side, everyone's favourite matchup, that is. This time, each person has switched champions.
We'll see if... Raven would be interesting.
Well, that wasn't the safe AD carry I was thinking of. Ezreal, it's safer. Perhaps that's, I think, a bit more likely than Draven. We'll see if that's what it's going to be. Ezreal, also not bad from Tristana. Another very safe AD carry, of course, with that huge rocket jump that she's able to make a huge distance between her and the Bard and the Lucian. So if they get too aggressive, she can always just hop away and make sure she'll be able to stay alive. Back to the Ezreal once again. He's just hovering through all the different champions right now. They all seem like good picks to me. Greenover, I'm sure you have an opinion on which one you'd like to play the most, though, and Gangplank would be an interesting one. I don't imagine it's... Well, no, actually, it is the Gangplank, so that'll be going over to the mid lane. That'll be Loco using that one. No Orianna for him this time. Perhaps he didn't want to pick it blind and goes for the Gangplank instead.
We'll see. Because Gangplank mid, think about it. If he goes up to, versus a ranged champion, and most of the mid laners are ranged, you won't be able to just barrel them. They will just break it, and that's it. But that's 90% of the damage that GP deals gone. And if they can kite him effectively, he's not going to do much. But we'll see what they pick on the side of Eliandra, and if they pick Lissandra, it would not be a very good pick versus GP. He basically has a built-in cleanse, so Fizz interesting. Fizz is and it's locked in, so
there we go. Fizz in the middle lane.
Versus, yeah, you can say that you can work it out with the playful trickster and not get it by the barrels, but you will have a bit of a disadvantage in the early game, so we'll see how the lane pans out. Also, worth to note that Bard is going for that ignite, sorry. So it's gonna be an aggressive lane coming from Eliandra. If they can use the damage from Lucian and the damage from Bard, they can get Caitlyn very low, even if she has that range advantage on them. So we'll see. So 5 seconds to go into the game, so to go into the waiting period. So want to talk about something on the sides of the laning phase?
Well, yeah, I mean, the Ignite makes a lot of sense. We're seeing picked up by Sorrow and ZAD in the bot side, and actually we see another Ignite coming through. Frixen at the last second switches away from the teleport and to the Ignite, so this time it will be the small loans who have the TP advantage, 2-1 over Eliandra, and we'll see if they're able to make it work a bit better than what Eliandra were able to last time. However, I'm not sure about TP flanks coming out of Gangplank. Doesn't seem like the best thing ever, though I could be proved wrong. He could be able to set up some nice barrel chains or whatever with that if he managed to get the exact perfect positioning, but it would be hard to get a decent flank off on Gangplank, I feel. But yeah, no, 2 Ignites. Very, very aggressive on Eliandra. They're looking to really snowball from the lane instead of going for macro plays this time.
We'll see how they can use that. That's interesting because that's a lot of damage and a lot of carries on the side of Eliandra. They have a very squishy team comp, but they have the Kindred to sustain them over their own health pool. So we'll see if she can use that to her advantage. But if the game stalls out a bit too much, they're gonna just fade out throughout the game. So we'll see. It's interesting because the matchup on the bot lane. It's what's interesting me more. The matchup on the bot lane. If they play very safely the side of small loans, they can get a lot of damage in, and they can't do anything about in the side of Eliander. So we'll see if they can do anything about it in the bot lane. What do you think?
Indeed. Well, I think that yeah, I think that Greenover, he has a decent chance in the bottom lane overall, being able to cope with it, considering he is the Caitlyn, and of course the Braum shield as well can negate so much of the damage going through with Des AD, and so particularly the culling and that sort of thing. So, you know, I think he'll have a decent time of it if he's able to play out the lane, and if I think the small loans are able to play out the lane successfully, I think this game should be game 2 in the bag for them, really. If they don't fall too far behind early, it's going to be really tough for EYA to make anything of this, I feel.
Let's see how they pan out. Do you think there's coming from the side of Eliandry some shenanigans on that GP on the mastery side?
I honestly don't know. I'm not too sure about what he'd be picking up there. We will be able to see in a moment, though.
You want more damage, right? Obviously that Thunderlords is very important, and we'll see if he picks it up. Also, Grass with Undying can be helpful in lane and sustain him throughout the game. But we'll see what he picks up. I'm loading in, so
yeah,
in a bit we're going to see it.
Anyway, we'll be able to see the skins and, of course, the masteries, which are a wee bit more important, or depending on who you ask, but for the most part considered to be more important at least. Still waiting for them to load up. Here we go. In they come, and it is Thunderlords in the bottom lane for Sorrow, which makes sense with all the damage he's bringing, and Loco also bringing Thunderlords as well. Everything else pretty normal.
Yeah, pretty standard masteries, so nothing much to talk about. Again, GP picked up that Thunderlord, so he's going for that additional damage to try and pick up more kills on that Fizz. We probably will be loading in just a bit, so
here we go. Yep, on to Summoner's Rift we go, and I don't think we're going to be seeing anything too much coming once again from the level 1s here. Just having a bit of a freeze frame right now, but we'll be able to see something in a moment. At least here we go. Yeah, and once again, Eliandric going for this very defensive Deathbrush setup here, but once again, it's not going to find anything. No one's falling into this net that they're setting up to try and catch out one of the members of the small loans, and it's just completely ineffective.
Again,
once again, poor synergy as well with the mastery emotes. I mean, it's just going all wrong already for the small emotes. I mean, Eliandra.
Guys. Come on, guys. Use that to your advantage. It's your time to shine. Come on, guys. Again, it's the same pattern that they used. They went to the bush next to the wolves. This time on the other side of the map, obviously. This time they are going to start top side, and they could have gotten the Gromp, but they didn't. So they're gonna have a disadvantage on level again. Obviously, not as important on Caitlyn as it was on Lucian. So we'll see if they can use it to some extent.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm surprised to see that Eleandra not starting the Gromp for themselves, because if they get an early level 2 on either Bard or Lucian, either of those champions, then that could be strong for them, not just because of abilities, but also just because of the stats it brings and the power spike they can get out of it. Greenova going to be getting some free autos off, and if Sora and ZD aren't able to keep up in experience and keep up in damage, that is a good stun. The piercing light doesn't come through, and thus Greenova isn't really punished for it. Mario did take a bit of damage, though.
That stun was clutch. It just missed every single minion.
Oop. Sora taking a lot of damage already, but as soon as DezAD hits level 2 as well as Sora, they're going aggressive right now, but once again, Cosmic Binding didn't land this time. And so Greenova and the Moro, they're going to be just fine. Moro did take a little bit more damage, and he's already burned down to about half his mana, but, you know, the fact that his AD carry isn't hurting in the slightest probably makes him feel pretty good. Oh, another stun onto Greenova. Once again, Sora stands on a trap and takes a big chunk of his health with that free headshot that Greenova gets as a result of it.
That's an APGP.
Oh, you know what? That does appear to be an AP. Yep. Well,
What? Okay then.
Is it a mistake, perhaps, the starting buy? I don't know. Maybe he feels it brings him more sustain with the oranges. I'm not entirely sure about that one. Yeah, maybe it's about sustain. Maybe the orange giving a bit more healing. Maybe he feels like he can make use of that in the start. We are seeing Kake down to the bottom side with double buffs, but he's not going to be able to get any sort of fight going on there. Frickson already been poked very low by AP Gangplank, and he's having a tough time in this lane so far.
I'm really confused.
Oh, Greenova taking a significant chunk of his health there, but he returns it back onto DezAD. He did hit the net on towards him, I do believe, which meant he got a headshot back, and DezAD, if one more shot had gone towards him, that would have been taken incredibly low, because the concussive stacks would have procced. Frickson, speaking of being incredibly low, flashing red health for that man in the middle lane now, just being poked repeatedly by the parlays of Loco, and he can't do anything in return.
It's interesting, because I've never seen a Gangplank after his rework, so...
Ooh, Cosmic Binding didn't land. If that Cosmic Binding had landed, could have been a dead green over there, but... good plays. I mean, Sora and DezAD, I mean, they're looking to make the plays, which is good, because that's what you need to do when you pick the Lucian Bard lane, but they can't quite get the execution right now, and Kake knows he's not spotted. He has the Razor Sharp buff, but that spear, not what he was looking for. Unlike Kake there, to see a spear going wide. We did see Sora heading towards there, and then he did back away at the last second, so it's sort of an understandable miss, but it does mean the gank will not be successful. Good timing by Sora to walk away.
His minion just walked in front of that spear, saving him from the likely doom that he was facing, so...
yeah.
Oh, that's a bit of an aggression on the side of Frickson. Oh, and we have a
Gank
guy
in the middle lane as well, but both junglers are there, so I don't think it's going to be too much in the end. As Prox will get chunked out a significant amount of his health as well as Kake, but both junglers going to be taking a bit of pain and nothing else as a result of that.
A
little bit of a skirmish
poke
there.
each other. Yeah. Just a little bit of you take this, I take that, and
Yeah.
we are going on our merry way.
Yep, speaking of that, that's exactly what happens in every fight in the top side between these two champions, as we just saw there. Loco perhaps would have done a little bit more damage with that if he was AD Gangplank, but you know what? Look at his mana pool right now. It's really quite high. And he can regen up with the oranges if he so desires, unless he's sort of holding on to them for more of the cleanse. But the fact that he has so much mana right now, I think it's partially thanks to the fact that he has the Doran's Ring, because it does bring, you know, a significant amount of mana regen, and maybe that's what he was going for with that pickup. Maybe he just wanted to be able to fire out parlay after parlay without having to ever go back for mana. He has gone back now that he's at level 6 because he's got the Sheen available, so obviously he wants to get that sort of mini power spike going, but I'm not sure Doran's Ring Gangplank's the worst start, actually.
If you see his runes, he has 18 AP at the moment. 20 AP. So that means he has ability power per level runes.
Right.
So he is AP. He's not AD. It
Okay.
wasn't a big help.
Ooh.
So,
Okay, just a bit of damage and stealing a couple of the little raptors, but not actually securing the big one. I believe Kake picked that up without any trouble in the end, so most of the experience and most of the gold went over to him still, despite the invade. Air Dragon. is
Oh.
up right now, but I don't think they're going to be contesting over it just yet. They're just trying to get some ward coverage in the area, maybe take down the Scuttle Crab as well, because it does have the mark of the Kindred on it.
Princeton has that ult available. He's not using it because GP can cleanse the slow, and he's not gonna probably catch up to GP. So we'll see if he can use it if they try to do Dragon. Kake is hovering around trying to make some plays happen. He's gonna probably go just for the blue, but we'll see if they can do anything about the weird pick that they picked on the side of small loans.
Yeah, and Bleo did burn his teleport getting back to lane, which means he won't be able to teleport down if any dragon fight should come out a good. Double Cosmic Binding there means that they're both bound up and stunned. And Moro, he's chasing deep right now, but he's ignited and the Culling's pounding into him. That's going to be first blood. There's AD, picks that one up, flashes out of the ultimate there. He's going to be staying alive right now. Kept alive by the Tempered Fate for a little bit of time, and Swine trying to get the kill onto Des AD. One more punch, there it is. Sorrow gets the heal up from the Caretaker Shrine, and another one coming through, but the Arcane Smash doing a lot of damage. Sapling comes through, doesn't even need it. Swine picks it up, flashes the Mastery Emote at the right time as well. A double kill with that TP to the bot side, and the fact that Bleo TP'd to lane meant that he couldn't join in with that fight at all. He's pushed in towards the tower, got a lot of damage onto Kake there actually, getting all three procs of the Riptide going through him there, but that's not much damage on that turret considering your lane opponent just got a double kill.
It was unfortunate because if the Cosmic Binding would have hit there, he could have lived. And even with that DP, just it was so much damage coming the way of Mordo that it just melted in seconds, even before the TP was finished. So that's a lot of damage coming from the Lucian Bard lane, so they need to be careful with that.
Yeah, indeed, they did pick up 2 kills for themselves as well, so ultimately it was a 2-for-2 trade in the end here. Might be another kill coming through. Sorrow does step on the trap as Prox coming in as well. They're going to keep the chase on towards the Morrow, but I think he's going to be able to get out successfully in the end. Frickson also hanging around the bottom side now, but so is Kake, and so is Loco. We could see a 4v4 fight breaking out, maybe going for a turret dive. Meanwhile, on the top side, there's actually a meaning to this wet noodle fight as Bleo goes very low, gets the shield up, but it's not going to keep him alive all that much longer. Swine still ticking him down. He catches him just at the end of the Arcane Smash and forces the flash out of Bleo at the end. That's as much as you can hope for in one of those fights, and good play by Swine, utilizing the fact that he just got a 2 kills, and you know, he's quite a lot more powerful than Bleo right now in winning the fight.
That was a fight on top lane that lasted 20 seconds. Do you realize that?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a considerably long fight.
Jesus. I hate those tank fights. Ugh.
Well,
It just
I mean,
takes
at
so
least this
long.
one had a little bit of meaning considering he burned the flash there. His Tempered Fate coming in on towards Moro. He might be in trouble, but he does have the shield right now. He's just going to stay alive. Sorrow, one more auto will do it, but he turns around. He doesn't go for the auto. He can't quite reach it, and Greenover already pounding a lot of damage into him. Kake coming down to the bottom side, looking to compound the pain even further right now, but he's not going to be able to do it. Instead, he turns back on towards Asprox, who uses the ultimate and tries to secure that Scuttle Crab. He tunneled so hard on that crab. Kake follows his flash over the wall. They're both in the ultimate. They're both in the Cannon Barrage. Kake picks up 2. The third picked up by Loco. Kake, once again, as soon as he starts to make plays, boy does he make the plays. 3 kills he earned his team just there. 5 kills to 2 now in favor of the small loans once again, and they're going to get the first dragon. This
is another showing of how powerful he can be in that Nidalee League. He just one-shots everything. He deals so much damage this early in the game, and he can use that to his advantage. And he knows how to use it to his advantage. So, a little bit of a roam on Fizz's side is never mind. He's going for the recall. So,
yep.
Just.
Oh, never mind. He's going back to the lane instead. He's going to be chasing down Loco, who has bought a longsword, which doesn't seem indicative of AP Gangplank. I imagine he's going for the Triforce right now. Now we're going into the Phage. He does get the orange. He still gets hit by the shark there, or rather by the huge bunny, and it does mean he's going to go down. Asprox Picks up that kill. A well-executed gank from EYA, and they're not letting this game slip as much as the last game. They do not want that to happen again.
Again, another noodle, wet noodle fight on the top side. So they just bound to each other until one of them gives up, and this time Nautilus came out ahead. So they need to be careful with that. Nautilus going for a little bit of resists on the side of going for the spectral scowl, and now being able to out trade Maokai. So we'll see if that's a headshot.
Yep, good chunk of damage coming through, and sorry, who's been stepping on those traps all day, every day so far? Leo doesn't actually get the dredge line, but once again, Kake's spear is knocked out of by Swine. That's been happening several times so far. It was dredge lines in the last game. This time it's the arcane smashes, but I'm not sure it's going to matter because Kake going in under the turret. Swine's the one tanking up, and Kake snipes him on the backside. In came the ultimate from Loco to help secure it as well. Meanwhile, Moro, he's going to be in a lot of trouble going down now, so 1-for-1 kill overall, but Frickson wants to make that a 1-for-2. In he comes. He gets the ignite onto Swine. Does get sap magic, but it's not going to be enough to keep him alive. But Kake comes in. Frickson, playful Trickster's not up. He's going to be going down. No invulnerability for that man. 2-for-2 across the board.
Again, 4 kills on Kake at this point. So he's going to be a force to be reckoned with again. You need to shut down that Nidalee, or else.
Ooh, Green over in a lot of trouble. Stunned up against the wall, ignited, cold, taken down. DesAD takes that one up.
That's another kill going for Lucian, who's currently 3-2 versus the 0-2 Caitlyn on the side of Small Loans. So this game is panning out very interesting on both sides. Kake obviously being the one with the most advantageous position on the side of on either side even. Yeah. Going again with 1,000 gold lead at this point of the game. Again,
1,000 CS lead would be quite impressive. He's actually 5 CS behind, which is strange for a Nidalee, but the fact that he has the 4 kills means that it doesn't matter very much. Leo wasn't able to secure the kill on towards the turret, and this wet noodle fight's about to get a little bit drier as Kake heads towards the top side, but Leo was able to get himself out. I believe he got the dredge line on towards the turret or something like that, and he managed to extend the gap between him and the enemy jungler, and thus he was able to stay alive. Loco still going for that Triforce. Hasn't got it completed yet. He has got the Ionian Boots of Lucidity going, so a bit of extra cooldown for him, but you know, throwing out more and more and more parlays. Still has the Doran's Ring as well for that little bit of extra AP that every Gangplank so obviously needs.
Oh, obviously. It's a common build now. AP Gangplank in the early game. Obviously. Again, the fights top lane are going towards the side of Nautilus. He chunked him to Maokai to half HP. He's going for it now.
Yeah, I mean, there was the Chum the Waters actually used by Frickson, Culling used by DesAD, but most of the shots didn't actually land, and a bit of a trade back by Greeno, but still DesAD getting by far the better of that trade. They did have to burn his ultimate, so you know, he doesn't have that much kill pressure on towards Greenover anymore, unless he can get a good dash in. His flash isn't available, so he can't combo that with it. So Greenover would have to be pretty mispositioned if he was to go down. Frickson still hanging around despite the fact he's very low. One spear going right, or barrels like that could take him down instantly. That spear didn't land. Tempered Fate actually is there looking to catch the Moro right now, but he has the Glacial Fish. Lands it onto a Sorrow. The snipe from the spear didn't land, and the Gangplank, he walks back into it. He walked back into the Cannon Barrage. He tried to get back into the land for a snipe, but he just got back into the Cannon Barrage instead. That means that Sorrow's going to be going down. A big misplay there means that the turret will be going down in favor as well of the Small Loans, and big gold boost for them, now up to 1.5k ahead with that kill in that turret.
There was a Venn diagram of life and death. He tried to get to the life sides, but he couldn't get to it. He died in the process. We're seeing a very large movement on the bottom side. The Drake is about to spawn in about 30 seconds, so they can pick it up when it spawns, the Aleandria. But Kindred is backing, so they're not gonna do that. Bit questionable that decision.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of in keeping with what they've been doing so far in the other games. They weren't putting really heavy priority on the Dragons. They only picked up one last game, and even when they were a little bit ahead in the early game, they picked up the one and then consequently lost the team fight. So maybe they're a bit nervous about trying to take down these dragons. It is a mountain dragon that will come through now, so big monsters and turrets, beware, because the small loans are picking up a little bit of extra 2 damage on towards you, unless Sorrow has anything to say about it. He's coming in towards it, so is Asprox, and so is DesAD, but the fact that they're up against 4 right now, and there's only 3 of them, Frickson going to be a bit late to the party, and the TP coming in as well means the small loans shouldn't have any trouble taking it down. There's no contest in the end. Kake smites it down. Dragon goes over once again, so that's their second dragon of the game right now, and if they continue to get these dragons rolling like they did last time, Eliandra might find themselves falling further and further behind. And the fact that they didn't win the laning phase, the fact that they came out of the laning phase still slightly behind, means that that's a big problem for them, considering they picked what should be snowbally lanes.
It's an interesting decision on the part of Eliandra. And we have a team fight now.
2-man Temper Fate, 3-man in fact. Good. Unbreakable Shield prevents the Cosmic Binding from stunning all too many people up. However, Swine in a lot of trouble, but he has so much tankiness coming through. Frickson goes deep with the Playful Trickster and has to Zhonya's, but he gets away with the Urchin Strike and the Flash. Bleo, meanwhile, he's come towards the backside of the fight, but he doesn't have enough damage to quite finish anyone off. Flashes away after green over DesAD, just needs the vision, picks up the kill with the Light Slinger. Frickson goes down, and then the ultimate comes out from Asprox. That's not the timing quite right there, but in comes DesAD, who has the health, picks up a double kill. The fight goes in favor of Eliandra, despite the fact that Asprox's ultimate was slightly mistimed, not keeping Frickson alive when it could have done, but still not the end of the world for them, as they are now 9 for 9, and they'll be picking up this turret as well, which may even put the gold very slightly in their favor.
This was a 3-for-1 pickup on the side of Eliandra. That's very important for them. They can just use this lead and lead. They're basically equal now. And if they were not equal before, and they won this fight, imagine what they'll do when they're even. So, very interesting, very, what was the word? Very frightening for the side of small loans. If they can't shut down this team, they will just snowball out of control.
Yeah. Absolutely, and I think the biggest discrepancy right now between the teams is the fact that there's 2,200 gold for DesAD, more than Greenover has right now. DesAD 8,000 overall, Greenover quite a long way behind on 5,900 now. He has got the cull, so when that pops, I'll give him a little bit of an extra boost, but not a truly significant one. However, Kake, once again, building up quite the significant gold lead in the jungle role, and actually there's a big CS deficit between the mid laners, which means that Loco actually has a considerably higher amount of gold than Frickson as well, so it depends on where you value your gold leads, but it could be either in favor of EYA or in favor of the small loans, depending on how you look at it, really.
You have to consider the barrels. The barrels count as a minion, so even if he has a small advantage in CS, they're not as far as you may think on the gold side. Even if
so he does actually still have 1,800 more gold. So yeah, he has an extra kill and he has an extra assist as well. Kake might be caught out right now. In comes the fish. It does lock onto him as soon as he comes out of the Zhonya's, but it's not enough damage to take him down. Frickson going deep, has to use his own Zhonya's, and Loco's picked up a kill on the backside. Meanwhile, Urchin Strike tries him to get him away, but he's not going to have the untargetable up quite yet, and it's a double kill for Loco. Chasing on towards Sorrow now. Moro going on him. Bleo, in he comes, trying to save his support's life, but the barrels do so much, and Swine comes sliding in, secures another kill. Ace in the hole came through, but Bleo is going to be going down. It's Moro that picks that one up in the end. In comes DesAD, looking to make something of the situation, but he can't do any damage to Swine. He's just far too tanky right now. Culling comes through Kake. One more spear will do it. That one didn't land. He's going to pounce in any moment. There's a little bit of back and forth going here. They're playing cat and mouse, or cat and Lucian as it might be in this case. But meanwhile, the rest of Kake's team, they're taking down the turrets now. They're focusing really on the objectives. The small loans going to break open the base. They're going to take an inhibitor at 21 minutes here, and it's a bit of a faster pace than we saw in the last game, certainly.
That's true. That's true. That they just cranked up the dial to the maximum and just took everything from for them. They're probably not gonna get caught out in the middle of the jungle, but we'll see. Caitlyn is still there and hasn't started the recall, so
Getting over the wall nicely with that 90 caliber net there and the trap as well, meaning the Greeno is going to be okay.
that's what 200 damage from the headshot. That's not a lot, but if she can start building a bit more. Oh, and she gets ulted by Fizz.
Yep.
Nothing happens.
Big Rabbit comes over, takes a bite out of Green over, but it doesn't matter very much. He's able to get that health back almost instantly. I think a heal from Kake came through on towards him. Ace in the hole was channeled there, but more of a disciplinary measure than anything else, saying Asprox has been a bad boy and needs to go away, and he does go back into the jungle, and you just do just that with the recall. 3 wards in the base of EYA right now for the small loans. I mean, they're looking to TP onto those, I think, and trying to get a bit of a flank on. Kake, speaking of getting a flank on, might have caught out Bleo here as he going to be locked up by the concussive stacks. He's trying to make his escape right now with the depth charge, with everything else, but there is the sapling to prevent his escape. Loco gonna shoot him in the back with the parlay, pick up another kill right now, and you know what, AP Gangplank not looking quite so AP anymore.
He dropped the orange ring and they're going for that Baron, so we'll see if they can do it before their team, the Eliandra's team comes, because Lucian is pretty far away. Oh, and that
Good Tempered Fate stops the Baron for now. We'll keep it alive for longer, but the Bard will not be kept alive for longer. Sorrow going down straight away. Culling not really hitting anyone. It tickled Green over a little bit, and Asprox, he's in full retreat. He's going to have to burn his ultimate, but it's just going to extend his period of living a little bit longer. There's nothing he can do. Kake, godlike now, 7-0-6 on the Nidalee. If that doesn't merit a ban, I don't know what does, because, you know, the small loans, it was close for a while, but now they've just turned it on. They're going to go back towards the Baron, which they didn't complete the first time. They're going to complete it this time, though. You know they're going to do that. Going to extend their gold lead even further and even further once they start to pick up the objectives with it as well. They could also get the Earth Dragon once they recall from this, because that is available. So turrets will be absolutely melting with the combination of the Baron buff and the second Mountain Dragon buff as well. Once they take it down, it's a bit slow taking it down, and Bleo was hanging around looking for a bit of a steal, but there's no real opportunity for a steal he can offer, and I'm not sure what he was doing there. Des AD forced to flash away. In fact, no, he didn't flash, he dashed away. He was flashed after by Moro, but Moro wasn't able to do anything other than exhaust him and send him on his way.
The only steal they got was is dead, so he couldn't really do anything about it. Mountain Drake is available, like you said. Both teams are going for a bit of a push there. Obviously, a very important Drake to be picked up on the side of. Forgot the name of the team again. Sorry.
Small loans.
What?
The small loans.
Small loan, sorry. Again, very important Drake. They didn't contest it at all. So, this is 2 Drakes. That's what, again, 20% damage to monsters, towers, and all that good stuff. So, 20%, it doesn't seem like a lot, but if everyone is attacking the turret, as you can see bottom lane, were just 2 champions basically hitting the tower.
Yep.
And the tower fell.
Amount of damage, and turret went down. They're going to be trying to take down another turret right now, but they don't really have the minion wave for it quite yet. However, this next minion wave that will come in will be Baron buffed up, so it'll be a lot harder to take down than that first one was, considering that was only the caster minion. Come the melee minions, trying to tank up right now. Tempered Fate actually lands on towards 2 people. Kake might find himself a little caught out, but Asprox isn't able to put significant damage down on towards him. Meanwhile, Cannon Barrage ticking down on the backline of EYA right now, and he actually picks up the kill on towards Frickson there. Another kill coming through. Ace in the hole secures the kill onto Des AD. I'm sure that retribution feels good for Greenover right now. Asprox trying to get some damage down onto Kake, trying to get a return kill, but he has to back away before he goes down himself. And now this turret will finally be going down for the small loans. Their gold lead now, it's getting out of hand. 8.4k in the head right now, and they're going to be taking down another turret to extend it even further, and then another inhibitor, unless there's anything EYA can do to stop them, and I don't think there is. They might even have to take that first inhibitor they took again, as it has just respawned. They're going to be heading towards it now. Don't quite have the death timers to end the game just yet. Only 4 seconds on Frickson and 4 now on DesAD as well. Frickson back up. They might try and get an exit frag as they leave the base, but I don't think they have the manpower or the general power really in stats to do that. And 2 inhibitors go down. It's looking bad for Eliandra.
It's 2 inhibitors down at 27 minutes. That's difficult to come back from. 3 drakes or 2 drakes coming on the side of small loans, so they will have an advantage when the elder drake spawns if the game goes that long. So you'll see if they can do as much as they did with the elder drake as they did last game. So
yeah, absolutely. We saw they were able to make great use of the Elder Drake in that last game, getting incredible amount of burst damage, just almost instantly win the last team fight of that game. And I think they're just going to methodically push in wave after wave. They're going towards the top side now. They have the 2 other lanes pushing automatically for them with those super minions, so it just makes so much sense. I mean, it's just a really standard macro play. If you have 2 inhibitors down, you push the 3rd lane, try and get that 3rd inhibitor down, get the double minion waves coming through, or the double super minions coming through in the minion waves, and then there's almost nothing the EYA could do at that point to save the game. They have to either focus the champions killing the Nexus, or they have to focus the minions killing the Nexus. If they focus one, the other one takes them down. There's one turret going down. The second one, they are going to mount a defense for it here. The Loco can participate in this fight from a long distance away, and Bleo would have to TP in to do so. Frickson trying to get an assassination onto Kake, but Kake stays alive. Tempered Fate does lock Greenover up for a while as procs. He's being kept alive by the Lancer Spike, but not for long as he goes down. Greenover picks that one up. Frickson did get the kill on towards Kake in the end, but goes down as well. Morrow flashing forward. DesAD very low. Morrow does get taken down, but in comes Loco. Flash parlay. A stylish kill coming through for him. There are the barrels. Double kill for him. That is going to be the game. Game number 2 for the Small Loans in the Vesper Conference League final. They're going to be going up 2-0 any moment now. Bleo is alive, but there's nothing he can do. He can try and proxy the waves. He was in this situation last time. His team were dead. He was the only one alive, and it didn't matter because there was nothing he could do about it. Nexus gonna go down. The Small Loans 2-0.
GG.
Indeed.
Whew. Another game. Another loss on the side of Eliandra. They need to pick up their game and try to win the next games, because one more game and they're out of this.
Absolutely. So join us very short. Oh, do you want to say something?
Yeah. I was saying it was interesting the mid lane, because GP started AP. And he went full AD next, so
Yeah.
it's a weird build, but I guess he made it work versus Fizz.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it might have just been for the mana regen to get the extra parlays off, because he was getting so many off, and he was just chunking Frickson bit by bit, lower and lower and lower, at barely any cost to his mana pool. And I don't think, I mean, even if it wasn't intentional, even if it was an accident or something, it seemed to work out pretty well for him. He dominated his lane, 9-1 and 9 at the end of the game. Did the most damage in the game as well. A really good performance from Loco on that Gangplank, and he's done by far the most damage in both of the games now. Certainly up there for trying to contest for Series MVP right now. We'll have to see if he's able to put in an equally good performance in Game 3, or whether EYA will be able to try and claw one back at least to try and stay in the finals right now. Don't want to miss it. Be back soon.
Stop the time, hold your breath. You're the only one I see. Breathe me in, taste kiss your lips, you're the only high I need. I'm losing control, your eyes entice me. Just letting go, your hold is tightening. I feel you rushing through my veins. Our bodies getting closer. Your heartbeat drives me insane. I feel you taking over. I feel you rushing through my veins. Our bodies getting closer. Your heartbeat drives me insane. I feel you taking over. I feel you taking over. Take me high, break me down, you're the flashing lights I see. Catch my soul, lose my mind, you're the only trip I need. I'm losing control, your eyes entice me. Just letting go, your hold is tightening. I feel you rushing through my veins. Our bodies getting closer. Your heartbeat drives me insane. I feel you taking over. I feel you rushing through my veins. Our bodies getting closer. Your heartbeat drives me insane. I feel you taking over.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Game 3 now of the Vespa Conference League final between EYA, Eleandra Esport on the blue side, and the Small Loans on the purple side. The Small Loans currently up 2-0 over Eleandra, so we'll be able to see in this game whether Eleandra are able to claw one back or whether it's going to be the clean sweep 3-0 for the Small Loans. We'll have to see, and whether they will be the champions of this split of the Vespa Conference League. My name is Tasty Aldar, and with me is the Mighty Waffle himself.
Hello. And we have the bands right
Yep.
now. Alistair
And
and
Nilly
Nilly.
Ban! Hallelujah!
Finally, they realized. Maybe
Uh.
you should have done that last game.
Mhm. Yeah.
So basically, we have Alistair and Italy Kindred banned from the side of Eleandra. It's interesting because Kake didn't play Kindred at all, because he was playing Italy, and they banned Kindred for their jungler. It's a bit interesting on their side, but let's see. Not a very good targeted ban, if per se.
Yeah.
Basically, it's just because they had first pick and they want to pick that Maokai.
Yeah. Yep, there is the Maokai, of course. Maokai once again making it through bans and getting first picked instantly. Not surprised to see that one. I think the Kindred ban makes a little bit of sense, because I feel like Asprox has felt pressured to play the Kindred while not really wanting to, because he hasn't been performing all that well on it so far, and I think he knows it's a really strong jungler, but he just can't quite get it right, and so he doesn't want Kake to be on that strong jungler, because we've seen what Kake can do on Nidalee, which isn't considered quite such a strong jungler as Kindred right now. Gragas, another fairly strong jungler, but not the same sort of carry potential that those other two champions bring, so I think they'll be a little bit gladder to see Kake on that one.
We have seen Kake play Gragas in the Premier League, so he was very strong with Gragas. If he can get a very small lead and snowball the lanes perfectly, you will get a lot of ways to improve their game. So Lucian also picked up from the side of forgetting their name.
The Small Loans.
Smolo, Jesus. You guys need to
It is a
pick
tough
a
one,
better
actually.
name. You guys need to pick a better name. So on the side of Small Loans we have Lucian picked up, and on the side of Eleandra we have Elise and Bard picked up.
Bard once again locked in for Sora. It didn't go all that well last time, but some of the ultimates that he did were pretty good, actually, I thought. So the Tempered Fate's coming through, and it makes sense to me to see them pick him up again, despite the fact that they lost with him last time. And Asprox are going for the Elise in the jungle.
The Elise is a very good pickup, obviously a good jungler to pressure lanes and pressure even the jungle for Gragas. Let's see, Loco offering that gangplank again. Will we see the EP gangplank again?
The faux AP gangplank. He did explain it in the Twitch chat for those who aren't aware, and it was about the mana regen, like I said, so apparently it's not all that uncommon at higher elos and in career and all that sort of thing anyway, but I think it was the first I'd seen of it, certainly, and you know what, it worked pretty well, and there is the gangplank lock-in, so I imagine we'll be seeing exactly the same start for them once again. And once again, the Small Loans prove that while they're pretty good at League of Legends, they're terrible at actually, counting or getting into the right order, because Greenover's at the bottom and Morrow's not quite there, so Morrow actually locks in the Morgana for himself in the support role, I imagine, unless it's a Morgana mid and we're seeing some kind of crazy stuff going on, but that little problem in the order, just bear in mind that Greenover is the AD carry, unless they've roll swap.
Again, they did the most important thing. They did the least important thing wrong in this matchup. So we'll see if they can win this one. No, but yeah, the Morgana pick versus Bard it's a very good pick, because obviously you don't get stunned by the Cosmic Mining, and also versus Elise, because the Cocoon doesn't deal any damage. So even if you stun the target, you just don't stun it and don't take off the shield. So we have a pickup from Eleandra. going for that Ezreal and Lissandra. Wanna talk about something about Lissandra versus GB?
Well, there's I mean, you mentioned it in the last game about it being in favor of the Gangplank, and we did actually see Frickson picking up Lissandra earlier in this series as well. And it wasn't the most impressive game I've ever seen. It wasn't terrible, but again, he did lose the game ultimately, of course, being on the side of Eliandra, who had, of course, lost both of the games so far. Last pick, probably the Graves, and it is going to be the Graves locked in. Which means that that's going to be going to the jungle, and it's going to be actually Gragas in the top lane. So we said Kake not going to be on a carry champion. That was completely wrong because he actually goes on to the Graves instead, which has considerably more carry potential.
This was an interesting and a sneaky play by Kake, trying to tell them that oh, I'm gonna pick Gragas, watch out, pick something to counter it, and then he picks the Graves, a very important champion in the jungle, with the damage he brings, and obviously a great pickup and suiting the playstyle of Kake. We'll see if he can do something about it. Again, Greenover and Moro are backwards. I was just like, what? Why is the support Lucian so okay? But and the Moro switched to Ignite in the last second, so going aggressive as well. And Soro is going aggressive as well, so we're gonna have a little bit of an aggression about them, so this will be interesting.
Indeed, and you know, it shows that Moro is thinking that he's very capable of landing these Dark Bindings, but you know, it's pretty hard to hit an Ezreal with the Dark Binding, but it might be a little bit easier, so they might be looking to take down Sora because he is so squishy as well. So if they can get the Ignite on towards him and that sort of thing, then you know, that'll be very beneficial for them, and I imagine we'll be seeing some kills going over to Sora if he's not, or against Sora rather, if he's not careful in the bottom side. This time, finally, we're going to have 2 TPs on both sides rather than 1 TP on one or 2 TPs on the other, or whatever we've been seeing so far. So double TP for both sides, but I think that benefits the side with the Maokai Lissandra more because that's certainly a higher impact TP play there.
Yeah, Gragas, even if he TPs perfectly and he gets a perfect ult, obviously not gonna have the same impact. Yeah. We'll see if Loco can bring out the same amount of plays he did last game. I watched the damage dealt after the game. He dealt more than 10,000 damage over the second most dealt players on their team. So that's a lot. That's a lot for a 27-minute game. Or was it 27? Something like that. It was
somewhere between 27 and 30. I'm not sure, but it was around that sort of area.
That's a lot of damage early on. So if he can get a lot of damage early on in this game, he's gonna shred through the picks on the side of Eliandra. They don't have that much of a tanky team early on. We have Elise, who doesn't build, probably won't build Vami's Hinder and the jungle item, the tank jungle item, and obviously Lissandra needs the Zonias. So we'll see if he can get some bit of a lead early on. We'll see. 30 seconds to get into the game.
Yeah.
Want to talk about anything else in this matchup?
Well, I think I'm hoping that we are able to see a bit of a comeback from EYA here, getting at least 1 win on the board. It'd be nice not to see a 3-0 in the final, and throwback to the last final, actually, back when we were House Party 5v5 EU West, I actually played in the conference final in the House Party 5v5 EU West League, and actually won as the AD carry for Team Mindcool, so a little bit of a fun fact there, and we were actually 2-0 behind at one point, and we got the reverse sweep, I believe, so that was quite the exciting series. Very fun to play, and I'm sure these teams are having fun as well, but you know, what would be extra fun is seeing a game, series go right down to the wire, but, you know, maybe it might not happen, maybe it will, but based on what's been happening in these games so far, with the fact that the small loans, even if the laning phase is pretty even, they just explode as soon as it gets to about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. They get the dragons rolling, Kake starts popping off, he starts getting kills left, right, and center, and then they really start to snowball a big lead for themselves. So, you know, as soon as it gets past that 15-minute mark, there's been a big discrepancy between these teams so far, and we'll see in this game whether EYA are able to make that less so in this one.
We've been seeing a little bit of a lacking in terms of objective control on the side of Alejandria. They're not getting the drakes. They're lacking vision. They're getting caught out. So they need to work on that in this game if they're wanting to have any chance of winning this series. So we'll see. Pretty standard masteries in this game. The jungle strength and the top lane grasp. Both mid laners going for the Thunderlords. Both the oh, I was watching Morgana again as the ADC. God damn it! You guys confuse me. Okay, and we are here in Summoner's Rift.
You know, it might be. You know what? It could be a Morgana AD carry. I mean, she started Spell Thieves, but it could be a Morgana AD carry. You know, she has ranged auto attacks. Once again, we're seeing Eliandra go for the same level 1 strat as they've done both games so far, and once again we see it absolutely fail miserably as no one comes anywhere near that bush, and they fail the synergy with the moats once again. Both times they've failed that synergy they've lost so far. I think that's the cause. I think that's the reason they're losing.
This synergy, this lack of synergy is tilting me. they just can't get it right. Come on,
they can't.
Guys.
They absolutely cannot. And once again, Eliandra not opting to... well, no, I spoke too soon. Here they go. They're going for the Krogs. They finally caught on to doing these level 1 camps as the bottom lane and trying to get the XP more even, so Green over on the Morrow won't be quite so far ahead as they had that natural advantage last time with the XP leads they were able to get from the level 1 camps. Both junglers starting on top side to facilitate their bottom lane starting those camps as well.
Wait, they just did the small minion, so they won't get the most effective clear out of the jungle. So yeah, we'll see if they can use that small Craig to their advantage.
Yeah, I mean there's still a little bit of XP, and it could get them to it if they're able to kill the minions quick enough. It could mean that they're not too far behind, but as we see, Green over already level 2, but the fact that his support's already on considerably lowered health right now means that they're not able to go for a big fight, and now that the EYA bottom lane have both hit level 2, they're able to pile on the pressure, and the Morrow, he's in a bit of trouble right now. He's got a decent amount of health, and he will keep regenning it back up, but, you know, it's still level 1 for him. He's level 2 now, but the trades are going in the favor just about of EYA.
Interesting fights in the mid lane. Lissandra, obviously, now it's a range versus a GP, so he can destroy the barrels before the barrels can explode. Oh, yeah. But GP playing very well. He managed to get barrel off, even though she was trying to destroy the barrel before they could do something.
Ooh. Kake in some trouble right now, but he's actually turning it on towards Asprox, and the bottom lanes are both coming. Dark Binding doesn't quite land, but Cosmic Binding does, however. It's a good black shield. That means Morrow's going to be able to stay alive, or is he? Ignite went down. In came the auto attack from Des AD, who popped up over the wall with the Arcane Shift. First blood for the AD carry of EYA this game, and that's good for them. 400 gold in the bank for him, and they're able to push Kake away from his own jungle as well. Putting Kake behind it, the Flash Cocoon doesn't land because Kake is able to flash away as well. But putting Kake behind in the early game, that's a good strategy for EYA, because Kake, if he's been able to get ahead, has been wreaking havoc for them.
They managed to steal that blue away, so... Oh, and they're going for it.
They might be able to catch Kake this time. Now there's no flash. He is locked up. He was stunned up. He's gonna not get away because Sorrow hits him with the last auto attack. Kill goes over to the support, but it's more about putting Kake as far behind as they can. However, he does still have a CS advantage over Asprox, but not all that significant, and it's going to be pretty much equalized. Asprox also probably has a bit more valuable CS as well.
As Greg said a couple of weeks ago, even if you get the kill early onto a support, that's an investment that you can make towards vision. You can get that sidestone earlier, and with that win out the rotation game. Let's see if they can use it to their advantage, but ooh, that's a bit of damage on the side of Gangplank. That's a lot of minions pushing bot lane as well.
Yeah, decent chunk for Doran's ring Gangplank, because, you know, he's not having any mana troubles whatsoever. That is an insane amount of regen he gets. In comes Asprox here, looking for the gank, but DesAD's actually the one who's in a bit of trouble. Greenover will have it turned around on towards him. Sorrow picks himself up. The second kill of the game for the Bard now, so sitting pretty there, and he'll definitely be able to get that Sight Stone. He might even go for a bit of AP, perhaps. I mean, he's thinking about carrying this game, perhaps. I doubt that's going to be quite what happens, but, you know, you never know. Maybe.
It's going to be the Luden's Echo first item coming from...
exactly. Luden's Echo Rapid Fire Cannon. He's playing on-hit Bard. The top-notch strategy.
I could just imagine that.
Yeah.
the tech animation of Bard going supersonic.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Rapid Fire Cannon Bard was kind of a thing for a while, back when Rapid Fire Cannon was even stronger than it is now, and I've seen the tier picked up for DesAD as well as the pickaxe to pack a bit of an extra punch there, and the Sightstone was also completed by Sorrow.
So they are going to have the vision advantage coming from this first Drake. Obviously, they are in a better spot, the side of Eliandra at the moment, with 3 kills over the team of Small Loans.
Yeah.
So you were worried I've forgotten it again.
Yeah. Well, there's a track record, let's say the least. Asprox and Kake both coming up towards the top side. Good flash away from the cocoon there from Swine, but it means he can't come back in for the re-engage. But Loco doing some damage with the Cannon Barrage. Not going to lead to anything, though, other than securing the disengage for his jungler. Morrow in some trouble, but he's actually going to turn it around onto Sorrow instead right now. Good damage on towards him. No Ignite used so far. Greenover getting some even more damage there, and Leo also going low on the top side. If this Dark Binding lands, Sorrow's in trouble, but it's not going to land. He does juke away from it. In comes the TP now. That'll be Frickson coming in right now. There's the Glacial Path. He's going to lock up the Morrow. That's 1 kill. He can lock him up as well. 2 kills now. 1 going over to Frickson. 1 going over to DesAD. 5-0 now for Eliandra. What a start to this game compared to the last game. Absolutely incredible stuff for them. If they can keep this up, they will absolutely run away with this game.
They look like a new team, just from game to game. They shut down KK in the first levels. They managed to give some advantage to the bot lane. 4 kills for that bot lane. 4 kills across Ezreal and the Bard. So they will have a bit of an advantage, even though Ezreal is buying items that early game are not as effective as the ones Lucian is buying. So even so, Ezreal will now have the Mana Moon completed and will out-damage Lucian.
Ooh, Flash Cocoon onto the black shielded target. Not quite what Asprox was looking for. Good reactions from the Morrow though. But the flash comes through for Frickson. Ring of Frost locks up the Morrow, and the kill is secured in the end once the black shield timed out. Interestingly, no one's gone for the drag quite yet. Frickson might be in some trouble here, but that's not the best end of the line from Kake. He's looking a bit shaky on this Graves so far. Good parlay comes through, collateral damage, not enough to take Sorrow down, but did force his flash at the cost of Kake's own flash as well. Tempered Fate actually looking for a re-engage, but they both dodge out of it. Look, eats an orange derisively, says you think you can kill me, haha. Oh, eats an orange instead, and then walks away.
This bot lane is now basically 1v1 between Greenover and DesAD, so we'll see if he can do something about that Ezreal that he's snowballing quite hard on that bot lane.
Absolutely. But yeah, as I was saying, the Infernal Dragon, no one's really prioritized it so far. Once again, another black shield used to negate the Cocoon. The Explosive Spiderling, or the Volatile Spiderling, rather, won't quite get the damage. Moro desperately wants that pink ward. He's begging in all chat to try and see if they'll let him take that pink ward, but not going to be given up quite so easily. Asproc's defending it with his life, or rather with the Moro's life so far.
Jesus, he's very, very desperate to get that that pink ward there. Let's see. No, pink wards also regen HP, so that's something to worth notice. Because even if he gets a bit of damage on that pink ward, it's gonna regen up. So he needs to get there and take the ward rapidly and get out.
Indeed, he does, and he's not been able to do that so far. He is still only level 4 because of the amount of time he spent A, dead, and B, trying to get that pink ward. So, 3 deaths right now for him. Not the best start to the game, to say the least, for the Moro, now that he's not on quite such a tanky support champion. And they do spot out Asprox on a ward on the bot side, or rather they know about his presence at least. I'm not sure if he was spotted on a ward or not, but they are aware. Sorry, looking to clear away that one. Comes through the magical journey. Kake trying to lend some support to his bot lane. Spots out Frickson, who's going for this dive here. They do back away in the end. Tempered Fate is available, so they could try and negate the tower if they wanted to, but instead they're going to go onto the Infernal Drake instead, which I think is possibly the more important target here right now. They really don't want to let the small loans scale up with dragons like they've been able to do so far in the other games.
There was also a TP advantage for the side of small loan, so they really didn't want to fight there.
Oh, there it is. The Gangplank ultimate comes through. Cannon Barrage securing the kill. Slick moves there from Frickson to secure his escape, as well as rooting up Kake. He sends the Glacial Path in one direction, walks towards Kake with the other, gets the Ring of Frost, and then snaps away with the Claw. Good play from him to get the most maximal escape possible. Dark Binding does land on towards Sora, but it doesn't even do that much damage right now because the Moro, he's just so far behind at the moment.
Even if Kake was shut down in the early stages of the game, he's keeping up through... and we have a bit of aggression in the bot lane.
Yep, Tempered Fate didn't land right now. Desert has the level advantage, but Greenover has the stronger dueling champion, but not if he gets hit by the point-blank Ezreal ultimate. Desad picks up the 2v2 kill in the bottom side now. 3 deaths for each of the members of the bottom lane for the small loans right now. That is not the optimal start to the game, to say the least.
There was a very strong ultimate on the side of Desad, just securing that kill with the player, Green over, going over 300 health.
Ooh, good damage here from Swine. That's not quite what he wanted to do. I think he auto-attacked the Spiderling instead of Asprox, and Asprox just gets away in time. Bleo came along to lend his hand in support as well. Loco coming up to the top side, but his ultimate isn't ready yet, so we can't try and snipe the kill onto Asprox like he did last time. And Bleo, no slows affecting him, so he's going to be able to escape as well. Kake comes up towards the top side. They're looking to try and get a dive on, but Sorrow's also there, as well as Asprox still hanging around, so they could make it quite the tough situation for the small loans if they tried to do anything.
Kake is going now for the blue buff.
Kake almost takes down Asprox once again, but not quite. Flashes in for the auto attack and does take him down. However, he's in a lot of trouble now as Frickson comes in on the backside with the Glacial Path and picks up the kill in return. So 1 for 1. I think Kake will probably take that. Maybe it's an even trade regardless.
Yeah, it's kill for a kill, so it's not that bad, but it's not that good either. So he needs to do more to get back into this game.
Yeah. So it is nice to see that the small loans are trying to make these plays to try and help get themselves back in the game, even if that one was perhaps a little bit too greedy compared to the sort we might be looking for here. Moro knows he's not spotted out right now. There is the ward going down from Moro, and a little bit of supportal combat over the ward there. In comes the Tempered Fate once again. Moro once again jukes away from it. Flash! Cosmic Binding doesn't land. He does get the slow from the auto attack, but that's not going to mean all that much, and Moro gets away at the cost of Sorrow's flash, scot-free.
Again, bits of skirmish here and there, nothing too exciting. Basically, these teams are waiting for that ending of the laning phase, as you pointed out. if they get out of the laning phase and ooh, that was just one Q and just the passive
Yep.
from Bard.
And the Thunderlords as well, doing quite a lot of damage on top of it. I think he even got a Black Shield there to try and negate some of the damage as well. Culling will clear out the minion wave, and it means there's not going to be a dive coming quite yet. Frickson was heading down towards the bot side as well, so that was an aptly used culling, I think, to make sure that they weren't going to go 0-4-0 for both of those bot laners right now.
They keep pushing out that bot. Oh,
Dark
He
Binding
was
lands
cut
onto
out,
Des AD, but they're not willing to do anything with it because they know that he can do so much damage to them if they tried to get close to him. Kake is hanging out over the wall, might be able to get come in right now. He doesn't have the flash available. I'm not sure how he's planning to get quite into the lane there, and Asprox has also shown up now as well, so if any fight broke out, it would be a 3v3. Asprox hasn't shown himself, so they don't know about his presence, but they are backing away anyway. Never mind, they actually stopped their recalls. They'll still be hanging around. If they wander up too close, they could be in a lot of trouble. A Cocoon could come their way, followed by a Cosmic Binding, which would be
Lissandra is
considerable
also
amounts of
going
pain
bot lane.
and CC.
Lissandra is also going bot lane, so she will be there for this fight.
Yep, Kake's still there, and he surprises Frickson here, but Frickson gets the Ring of Frost down. Tempered Fate didn't quite land, and Frickson forced to use his Zhonya's. There is the Cannon Barrage as well, doing a lot of damage. Kake still alive, still got quite a bit of health right now, but Asprox wants to do something about that. Quite close right now, but doesn't quite have the reload. Moro will be taken down over the wall, but Loco comes in with the flash parlay to secure one kill back in return. A 1-for-1 trade once again. If he can get these barrels to chain up, there could be a significant amount of damage, but they weren't quite linked there. Unfortunate for Loco, and he might be in some trouble now. He is able to get away. Doesn't quite get the barrel once again. Asoro dodges out of it, and we've been aptly taken to what is a wet noodle fight in the top side and completely unimportant. Loco still going to have to use the culling from Greenover to secure his escape. Mystic Shot hitting Greenover, doing significant damage, meaning that he can't stay around any further. And there is the ultimate from Des AD once again. That True Shot Barrage has picked him up 2 kills onto Greenover now. A good snipe from him. It means that Eliandra Esports even further ahead right now.
He just had that kill line up and he got it. So that's a good pickup. Dragon is spawning in about 25 seconds.
Ooh,
So
Frickson in a lot of trouble right now. He takes the path, but I'm not sure that's going to help him much. Loco gets the solo kill in the middle lane, and you know, while Eliandra Esports are ahead, look at the middle lane. Loco 3-0 right now, and he has been really the carry master. He's been doing all the damage for the small loans, and if he's getting ahead, which he is so far in this game, that could still be a significant problem for them. Okay, just going to be clearing out some wards here. They're not looking to contest the Rift Herald take that is going on from EYA. I'm not even sure they know it's happening. There it is. They know now, as Bleo will be the one to pick that one up. That is a pretty good buff for him, and Swine might have some trouble dealing with him on the top side now.
yeah, that's true. They will have some difficulties dealing with him, but now we can see. We are getting to that point that both teams want to get out of lanes. They're trying to push out the first hours of the game, and they're not being able to because there's a lot of wave clear on both sides. So there's not much they can do in terms of getting the towers down.
Kake getting some good chunk damage onto Asprox, who will be forced to try and scuttle away right now. And comes Sorrow, looking to turn the tides, but the Cosmic Binding doesn't quite land. Moro looking to lend his hand, might be caught out by Des AD, getting slowed down. He does have the Black Shield, flashes, but doesn't make it out of the Tempered Fate. That's going to be a Cosmic Binding, as well as another True Shot Barrage. Des AD, absolutely unstoppable. I agree with the announcer lady there. Very good description of him right now. He has that Iceborne Gauntlet finished up, and it's a big power spike for him. Once he gets the Mana Moon to finish off as well, that'll be an even bigger power spike. Swine, he is having the trouble with Bleo. If he goes for this fight, I'm sure he'll lose it, and just needs to clear out the minion waves and try and keep that turret alive.
This is a fight. Oh.
Greenover dodges everything. I mean, they fired both of those projectiles in the same direction. The Cannon Barrage came in as well to secure the disengage. Meanwhile, Swine going for a bit of a play on towards Bleo, who will pop the Mastery Emote. There's a little bit of BM as a result of Swine's ultimate being used to little to no effect. Kake hanging around near the dragon, dashes into the pit, but that's where Asprox and Sorrow are, and the rest of the team. Des AD comes in, so does Frickson. Not good positioning from Kake. 1-3-2 now, and the dragon Mountain Drake, will it be secured? Doesn't look like EYA are planning on doing that right now because Loco is hanging around and he has so much damage. He pops the barrels there for a little bit of speed boost, gets the trial by fire proc onto Frickson, but isn't able to do anything more with it.
It's interesting because Kake was so out of position. It's not like him in the past games we've seen this, but he was playing Nidalee, so it was easier to get away.
Yeah.
But he was caught out in the middle of their jungle, so they need to be careful with that. If Kake gives out more and more kills, they will be even further behind, and they'll have a lot of difficulty to get into the game again.
The Morrow has been having so much trouble with this game so far. He's still only level 6, which is a full 3 levels behind everyone else. He just hits level 7 before the pause comes through. Looks like it's going to be called for the side of EYA right now. Must have a bit of lag issues right now. Yep, bit of a lag spike, ping problems. Shouldn't be too long before we get out of this pause, though.
Yeah. In the meantime, let's talk about the Drakes picked up on both sides. We have I can't really see right now. Wait. We have Infernal Drake now picked up by the side of
side of UIA.
Sorry, Eliandria games. So they are gonna get a bit of AD and AP buff. We have now a Mountain Drake there in the pit, so if they pick it up, that's 10% more damage to structures and monsters, adding up with the Infernal Drake. So they're gonna have more damage, more attack damage, and more ability power, and more damage to the tower. So
yeah,
it's interesting how the both Drakes complement each other in certain situations.
Yeah.
I think they are ready to restart and 2, 1, and we are back to the Summoner's Rift.
Indeed we are. But yeah, what you're mentioning about the dragons, it would be very good for EYA to pick up this Mountain Dragon right now, but they haven't been showing very much preference for the dragons, not nearly so much as we saw out of the small loans when they were ahead. So, you know, while they have this such a huge lead, they're not utilizing it to pick up dragons, and you might see the small loans actually being able to sneak that dragon and try and trade it for another objective if they are able to do so at some point, but I'm not sure any of those trades would be particularly beneficial for them right now, but they would like to get the dragons nonetheless.
Yes, we'll see if they can get
Binding lands onto Sorrow, but they can't even go near him without fear of getting taken down there by Des AD and Sorrow. They've had that happen one too many times to know, and there go the spooky ghosts. Spooking him a bit, doing nothing more than that. In comes Tempered Fate as well. They've locked up Greenover, taking him quite low. Good Dark Binding hits Sorrow while he's under tower, but still, they don't feel able to go to try and secure the kill. And Asprox has arrived now as well. Once again, we see him in that bottom bush. I feel like we've seen that many times this game. And Kake in the position we've seen him so many times so far. The top turret has been taken down as well by Leo, who's really dominating the lane with the help of that Dawn's Eve buff, I believe it's called still. And still culling used by Greenover, making sure the wave isn't in a position in which they can be dived quite yet. Morrow still going quite low here, and he will have to back away, as will Greenover. Morrow actually stays around for now. Not sure what he's hoping to pick up here. Throws out a Dark Binding to Des AD. Didn't really mean anything. There was almost no point in him doing that. He may as well have just backed off to try and get back to the shop and then back to the lane quicker. The turret will go down in the favor of Eliandra.
Well, on this fight,
he didn't even back. He dodges away from the abilities, has the Black Shield on himself, but it's only a matter of time. He feeds himself to Des AD instead. I'm not sure that's really preferable. Godlike kill coming through for the Ezreal. Eliandra Esports absolutely bossing it so far in this early game. In mid-game, in fact, now.
7 kills going for Ezreal. That's a lot. That's a lot of damage coming towards... I forget the name again.
Small loans.
God damn it. Small loans. There's a lot of damage again, and they are going to pick the Drake up, so more damage, coming the way of the small loans structure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. There is the dragon picked up. It was DesAD who secured it, but I don't think Asprock particularly needed to be on point with the smite, considering there was no one within any real distance of it at all, so a free dragon for them, and they do eventually decide to pick it up.
yes, and we are basically seeing the reverse. Most of the lanes lost this game on the side of small loans. Only GP is a bit over the rest of the team, but even so, you're just one person. You can't kill everyone alone. So
No, well, you can
we'll
hope
see.
to, but you most likely you can't.
Yeah. We'll see if they can use the little bit of an advantage that GP has, but I don't see how that's likely.
Oh, I'm looking for another engage here. Tempered Fate flashed away from by Kake. Loco wasn't so quick with the fingers, but it didn't matter because in comes Swine on the backside. There is a good cannon barrage. It's hitting all 5 of them if Frickson wasn't invulnerable. So much damage goes on towards them. Frickson, Zonya's just in time. Loco not able to quite secure the kills, nor was Kake, and they're so low on the backside, but everyone is so low. A double kill for Loco. He did pick up the kill onto Frickson in the end, but he's taken down by DesAD, who still has some health. Kake and the Moro, they're going to be looking to kill Bleo right now. He's solo, the Ignite's ticking, tries to turn it around with the Twisted Advance, but he can't do it. Greenover showed up to take part in the fight now. This is going against Eliandra. It's gone in favor of the small loans. They have 3 members up to the 1 Asprox remaining for Eliandra, and this means the gold lead, it's not going to be negated completely, but there's going to be a significant chunk of it removed because they're going to take down 1 turret. They might even try and take down 2 turrets. No, they back off instead. The kills and that turret mean a lot of gold just swung back in the favor of the small loans there.
I now bite my tongue. Basically, they were 4v5, and Loco did all that fight. Basically, they dished out so much damage on the team of Eliandria that they couldn't stand the amount of damage that they was dealing. And that was a 4v5 battle. Greenover was not there.
Indeed.
So, if he ever gets into the fight and they play like this again, it's gonna be an interesting turn of events in this game.
Absolutely, and it kind of reminds me of what happened in the first game of this series, which did go in favor of the small loans in the end, but they've been ahead the vast majority of the game, and then a couple of fights were won by Eliandra, but they couldn't quite make it work as they lost more subsequent fights, and therefore the game still did go in favor of the small loans. The Moro in trouble, locked up. He's going to be taken down. If they keep giving free kills like that over, that's not going to help their cause of trying to get the last win in this series and trying to win the whole Conference League for themselves right now. Next dragon will be an air dragon, which not the most useful of dragons, and it's not going to be up for quite a while. Sorry, a little bit caught out by Swine. He does ulti him backwards in towards Kake, but there is a good magical journey, but it's not going to be enough to keep him alive. Or is it Swine? One more auto attack. It's the ultimate from Loco that secures it, and now Asprox might be in a little bit of trouble. I don't think he's going to be able to repel. There it is. He does repel away to the red buff, which was up in the end. Loco can't quite get these turrets to work as DesAD just takes them down one by one. Unlucky there. That's got to feel bad if you're Loco, but good play from Swine and Kake to make sure they get 1 kill in return for Loco.
And that was a bit of a misplay on their part, but they got the Morgana earlier. Even if she's 0-7 and doesn't give as much gold as they wanted to, but it's something, basically. Red buff going towards Designated. So he will deal even more damage than before.
Yeah, absolutely. Bleo and Asprox hanging around the middle lane. They're looking to pressure this last outer turret that's still remaining for the small loans right now. DesAD will be able to take it down pretty quick. He has the Sheen procs and some significant AD right now, but can't quite get all the damage on the turret needed quite yet. It's about a half health, so it shouldn't be too many ways before they're able to take down Moro. Very low, he's invulnerable for a little bit, which might help him, but it's not going to help him stick through that, as the True Shot Barrage and Friction damage, or friction damage, I should say, came on towards him and did take him down. Culling used trying to secure the turret for themselves, but Bleo's the one tanking, and the Culling didn't take him down. It just took the minions down, and the minions, to be honest, weren't needed in the end. One stayed alive anyway to keep that buff going for the turret, so turret does go down, and Eliandra once again keeping calm and still getting their gold lead back up. Friction trying to go in, but not able to secure the engage quite yet.
This is 3 towers now to the side of Eliandris, to the one on the side of Small Loan. So they need to step up their game and try to get more fights like the one they won a couple of minutes ago. So if they can do it, and they are trying to work on a flank there, even though they don't have a TP advantage on the top side. We can see a bit of
Gangplank damage is very significant right now. He is 6-1. We can't forget about that. Just because the Mora is 0-8-4 doesn't mean that his mid laner isn't quite significantly fed. And Loco looking to carry this game for his team, getting some damage on towards Des AD, making sure the AD carry has to back away from the turret and thus keeps the turret alive for now.
It was just one barrel, so if he gets any close, if he gets close to Loco, he can just one-shot him basically. So he needs to be careful with him, but at the same time, he can't play far back because he won't get the damage dealt to the right targets, and it's a difficult spot to be in.
Absolutely. Cloud Drake is also in a bit of a difficult spot as it's being beaten up by Ezreal and Elise. However, they actually decide to go away from it instead and look to try and help their team catch out Kake, who did have to burn his flash to escape. Meanwhile, Swine and Bleo, and for the typical fight on the top side, not going to mean all that much, and Bleo realizes that Kake is there and he needs to try and turn around to help his team secure the kill onto Kake. Good disengage from Swine, but it's not going to be enough because in comes Friction. Double Ring of Frost comes in. Sorrow locks them up with the Cosmic Binding as well. In comes the Cannon Barrage to try and help them do a little bit of extra damage. Friction will go down right now. Swine picking him up, and he's doing as much damage as he can. In comes Loco. A lot of damage on towards Absprox, and Loco flashes in. I'm not sure that's what he wanted to do because it means he's going to go down. He needed to just stay away and keep hitting the turrets. Keep hitting the barrels rather from afar, trying to get that poke damage down, trying to get that huge burst that he can get. He didn't need to flash in and greed for that kill on Asprox, and the fact that he did means that it's 3 kills to 1 in favor of Eliandra, and they're looking to push in the top side now.
You need to be careful with this type of engages. Loco deals damage, but is not tanky, so he needs to be really careful with what he does and not do that at all, because he won't survive it.
Indeed, they did only take down 1 turret in the top side. I thought they could have pressured a little bit more, but Kake has returned from the dead, and Swine and Loco aren't too far behind either, so they're just going to get the red buff and clear out a few minions and then back away.
We have a lot of wards on the top side of the red side jungle, so they will have the advantage if they want to go and do Baron. That's the most important objective at the moment. It's interesting because they haven't picked up a single herald in this three games, so I don't know why that is, because it's a very strong buff, and even if they don't use the part where they want to split push, they can use it as a way to deal a bit more damage inside the team fight.
Yeah. Indeed, the dragon has been started up. It's taken quite low. A 2-man Tempered Fate means that Loco's in a lot of trouble. Got the Black Shield on towards him. Means that he stays alive for now, but he's not going to stay alive that much longer. Huge amounts of damage coming through as Friction comes over the wall. Friction, I should say. Double kill for Des AD. He's looking to press over towards Greenover and just gets away over the wall with the Relentless Pursuit. It's not going to keep him alive for that much longer. Kake trying to turn it around with Greenover, but it's not going to matter. A quadra kill comes through for Des AD. This could at least be an inhibitor right now. A clean ace, not a clean ace, Bleo did go down, but an ace nonetheless for Eliandra Esports means that this game and this third match of the Conference League final could be tilting very heavily in their favor right now.
That was just the perfect fight for Eliandra. They just snowball that ADC, and now they get the oh the advantage on the team fights. Okay.
Yeah.
So they now have a very good position to win this game, and they're basically resting every single ounce of hope on Descent. So let's see if they can get forward.
Yeah, if they catch out, if the small loans catch out DesAD, then that's going to be a lot of trouble for EYA right now. He's 14-1-6. If they remove all of that gold from the board, that will be absolutely insane. And Loco might be able to do just that. However, Morrow, in a lot of trouble, might just feed another kill over to DesAD right now. He gets a decent Dark Binding, uses the ultimate, but it's not going to matter. DesAD dominating kill there, picks another one up on towards Morrow. 15-1-6 now on the Ezreal. Insane performance from him so far.
This is a 0 in 10 Morgana, so it won't be as advantageous to kill Morgana. So even if she dies, it's not a lot that you miss.
Ooh. There is Kake trying to catch out DesAD, but DesAD heals more than Kake, damages him right now. Greenover packs a bit more punch and tries to come in and help his jungler out with that kill. Does keep him alive, but doesn't mean that DesAD goes any lower, because he has the lifesteal from the Bork, which is just sustaining him so well through that.
The problem with the Kake is that he does have the DPS, but he doesn't have the raw damage to destroy Ezreal, basically. So he's gonna have a difficult time doing so, and they're starting Baron, so they are going
only three
for
of
that
them
buff.
on it right now. Brixen trying to block off the advance here from Kake. Sorrow comes over the wall. In comes the TP. Loco doesn't manage to get anyone with those barrels there. Good tempered fate. Might have secured Frixen's escape right now. Swine getting cocooned up. Not going to be able to go for this engage. Leo might be in a bit of trouble here. He's very far forward, but there is the ultimate. It makes him so tanky. So much damage going through with the cannon barrage, though. He picks up DesAD. DesAD is down. So is Bleo right now. If they pick up Astrox as well, this could be huge right now. He's going to go down as well. Incoming TP from Frixen. He's coming back to the fight with full health, but I'm not sure he wants to do that. He has full health, but I don't think he can take on the 4 members of the small lone still remaining. They're not going to go for the Baron instead. They're going to push down the middle lane instead. Only Frixen and Sorrow are alive for Eliandra now. What just happened?
I pointed out earlier that if they ever kill Ezreal, they will get the advantage on the team fight, and
yeah,
that's what happened. They killed Ezreal, and basically their team crumbled. There was no type of damage coming towards again. God damn it. Small loans, exactly. Because Lissandra was back, so
yeah,
they couldn't get any type of damage besides DesAD, and he was dead.
Yeah, indeed he was. Yeah, Frixen, he was there at the beginning of the fight, got chunked out very low, had to recall and then come back again with the TP, and it wasn't in time to save his team. However, the fact that the small loans weren't able to take anything off of that, not even a single turret, they still only got the one so far, meant that it's not as disastrous as it could have been for EYA, and, you know, they still have 8,000 gold in the bank ahead of the small loans right now.
Yeah, they have a very large mountain to climb, but the mountain is becoming smaller at the minute, so we'll see if they can do anything with this fight.
The Asprox throwing out the cocoons, trying to get one to land and see if they can make a pick with it, but he didn't manage to get it. He is hooked up with the Dark Binding, but it's not going to matter very much. Good damage on the minions from Loco. He's getting 1,000 damage crits onto them, so that clears them out instantly pretty much. Bleo trying to get forward and auto-attack the inhibitor. It's being slowly chunked down by EYA, and there's not a whole lot the small loans can do about it. They do force them away. Actually, Swine going for an engage, but doesn't quite land a body slam. He's very low on health, but he is going to be able to escape with the help of that Black Shield. But the fact that he's so low means that he can't stay around, and that means the inhibitor will indeed be going down to EYA.
That's an inhibitor that they couldn't afford to lose. Just because they now have the pressure on the mid lane, and they can go for objectives like the next Baron, the Baron, or the next Drake. So, you can see the position they are taking this time. Oh.
Frickson going aggressive. They get chunked out quite low. A lot of damage coming through. There is the cannon barrage, and Des AD is locked up. He's down already. Calling onto Frickson. He's also down. Bleo has to flash away. Has Vengeful Maelstrom running to try and keep him alive, but I don't think it's going to do so for long. He heals up with the sap magic, but it doesn't matter because it's a double kill for Greenover. Another fight is being won by the small loans right now. Only Swine has gone down once again. Loco chasing on towards Sora. If they can catch any more kills, then this could be big. Instead, they turn around for the Baron instead. Asprox is still alive, so is the potential for the steal, but he's not going to be anywhere near. I don't think he's going to be able to get there in time to take it down either. Greenover has to get in there and start doing the damage quickly. Morrow just clearing out the wards as well. They're going to be taking it low, and another team fight win for the small loans means that they are finally able to make an objective out of it and pick themselves up the Baron.
And now the advantage is not that high on the side of Eliandric esports, so they need to get a better team fighting positioning, because they are just gonna get destroyed by the cannon barrage and the barrels. This fight, Ezreal was caught out with the Dark Binding, and following that, it was basically destroyed by all the AoE damage that they have on the small loan side. They are now positioning for that Elder Drake that's more important on the side of Eliandri because they have more Drakes, obviously.
Yeah, indeed. That is the case, and Eliandra are posturing around it right now. They do want to take down the Elder Dragon, however, it does take a significant amount of time, so even if they push the small loans away temporarily, they could come back straight in there again, excuse me, and Swine looking for a bit of an engage maybe, but once again has to decide to back away. The minions in the middle lane are being pushed out pretty heavily by Katke, which does mean that the super minions aren't going to be causing quite so much trouble for the small loans, and they're not going to be under pressure of losing their Nexus turrets quite yet if EYA do start up the Dragon. Swine going in for Body Slam, misses colossally. I think he might have been going for the Wolves instead, finds himself on the wrong side of the wall, but doesn't matter too much. There was only Bleo there, and Bleo doesn't offer very much damage, particularly at this stage in the game. Sorrow looking for an engage onto Greenover, but that was a pretty wide miss on the Tempered Fate. Greenover rather could just turn around and make sure he was able to escape.
Rainover, not Greenover. Remember that. They are going to start. Oh, they're back away from Drake.
Oh, Swine once again has to use the Body Slam defensively. Good chunk of damage onto Sorrow there by Loco, and they're actually looking to trade maybe this Dragon for middle lane turrets right now. They have the inside track, however this could mean they're flanked. This could be a lot of trouble for the small loans, or this could be great for them. They've taken down that turret straight away. Asprox just behind them, going in for the flank, as is Bleo. Culling Bleo eats it all with the Vengeful Maelstrom running, and it doesn't matter because he's going to be able to stay alive for a long time. Greenover chasing him down, and he does go down to the barrel in the end. Morrow just staying alive, and Frickson once again finds himself in trouble. There's AD. He's untouched though so far in the fight. He's at half health now. Loco chases him, crits him on the back, gets the parlay as well. He's going to be going down. Sorrow, if they take him down, this could be huge for the small loans. It's only Asprox and Sorrow alive. Once again, this is a familiar situation. The inhibitor turret's going down. The inhibitor is going to go down. The gold has been all but evened out now by the small loans. What an insane turnaround. This has been great Black Shield by them. Morrow means that he's not going to be going down quite yet. Loco looking for another kill, but I think they need to not be greedy and back away. Katke was too greedy, and he is going to pay for it with his life. Loco might be able to turn some damage around, but that was not the parlay target he was looking for. He wanted the barrel, not Asprox himself. They're staying around. I'm not sure why they're staying around. There's only 8 seconds now on Bleo, 10 seconds on the two carries. They've got to disengage. Happy with the inhibitor, though, I'm sure they will be. In comes Asprox. He tries to get the Flash Cocoon, but there's a Black Shield there for Morrow. Asprox still chasing. Explosive cast for the disengaged Bleo. He's TP'd in. That's going to be a kill on tomorrow. Surely at least there's one. They needed to disengage soon to the small loans.
Oh my
Frickson
God.
comes through. He has the home guards. He's coming on towards Swine, but Swine is very tanky. They might take him down. I think they're going to. It takes them a while, though. Tries to escape with the body slam. Sorrow chasing, but Frickson has the Glacial Path, has the Ring of Frost, and Sorrow picks up the kill. It was so good for the small loans. They'd done so well to turn it around for themselves, but then they overstay, and that was a crucial error. That means EYA are going to be able to take a free Elder Dragon right now. However, they have minions pouring into their base that they need to worry about. They have a minion wave spawning that will protect their Nexus turrets for a moment. Sorrow going out of the Baron Pit, Dragon Pit, I should say. He's trying to get back in so he can deal with it right now. Bleo also heading back. The minions are heavily hitting on those turrets right now. Never mind, it's not going to be that much damage on towards them after all.
This was a crucial mistake on their part. They could have backed off and taken the mid lane tower and the inhibitor, but they didn't. So they lost every single type of advantage they won the last fight. So questionable decision making by their part, and now they have to face a team with 5 members with Elder Dragon. So it's looking pretty dire on their side.
I mean, the fights were pretty damn close when there was no Elder Dragon in play. The fact that the Elder Dragon's in play means that it's going to tilt it way back in the favor of EYA once again. I mean, it's been so impressive that the Smalllands have been able to hang on for this long in this game. They were so far behind so early. And so many of the kills were onto Des who's a pretty strong carry on this Ezreal blue build. And, you know, it's been very impressive to me that they've been able to hang on. They will lose their inhibitor now, surely, and I'm not sure, even though they've been winning the fights of late, I don't think they'd win the fight against the Elder Dragon. Popping the Banshees from Sorrow, the fact that so many Banshees Veils have been completed is going to be annoying for Loco. Both of those, he has to pop them before he can then pop the champions with his barrels.
That's something that escapes my understanding. How they through such a lead they gain so easily. Just makes no sense. Baron is spawning in 1 minute, so both teams trying to secure a better vision around that Baron buff. We'll see if either team goes to it, but now that both mid lane inhibitors are down, they are just even on the pushing power.
It's basically like none of the inhibitors are down. As Prox might get a catch onto Greeno, who used the QSS late, or the Merc skim I should say at this point. Does manage to get away from it though with the majority of his health. Baron still spawning in about 20 seconds now, 10 seconds it is, and the fact that there are 2 TPs up on the side of the small loans compared to 0 TPs up for Eliandra could be a crucial matter in the coming Baron fight here. It does mean that Swine could go and clear out the bottom wave or Loco if they wanted to, but they are going to hang around the Baron pit instead, which I think is probably the wiser decision.
Again, the vision is not favoring small loans, so they cannot go in this blind. If they do, they will probably get chunked down and just...
Caught out just like this. Swine and the Morrow, they're in trouble. Good explosive cast might have kept them alive for now. The Morrow, Zonya's to try and keep himself alive. Same could be said for Frickson right now, who is going quite low. Kake doesn't quite secure the kill. Cannon Barrage is hitting the non-priority targets. That's not been the case in the other fights, and it's been crucial that it's been doing so in the other fights. They're leaving Swine for dead right now. He might escape, though, actually. He does get over the wall and just about stays alive. End of the line coming through, dealing some extra damage to them on the backside, but it's not going to matter very much at all. The small loans run off with their tails between their legs, but crucially they are all still alive. Baron will be started up. They're going to go for a TP play here. Swine TPing in, making sure they can't start up the Baron too quickly, but he might have TP'd in too far. His team aren't quite there to support him right now. It does mean that the Baron hasn't been started after all, or at least it was cancelled after it was started, and Des still at full health, but with relatively low mana supplies, means that he might not be able to fight at full capacity for that much longer before basing.
Even if they won the fight, they couldn't have gone for Baron, just because we had Frickson low, and they were closer to their base, so they could get healed faster and just return as fast as they can to the Baron pit. So It's difficult to pick up objectives at the moment because basically you have to kill the other team to get the objective safely. But let's see if they keep trying to go for this Baron, because it doesn't look like... Oh, and we have a TP play coming from...
Yep, it will be Bleo
Okay.
coming in with that one. Swine locked up by that Tempered Fate. Gets a good explosive cast once again to dissipate the aggressors on towards him, but it's not going to keep him alive for that long right now. The Morrow, once again, also using the Soul Shackles to try and stay alive, but he doesn't manage to. Double kill for Frickson now. This could be the game for Eliandra. Greenover, what are you doing? That's not where you want to be. Why is he there? Why is he dashed into that to take down the minion wave? What on earth is he doing? He's been taken down now, and that is almost certainly going to be the game for EYA. Loco is still up. He can clear the waves. He can try and clear the champions as well. He does so much damage, but I'm not sure he does enough to keep his Nexus turrets alive right now.
It's
On towards it, Frickson going in, but he does get taken down by Loco. There's one kill, but it's more of a distraction as Des AD is hitting on the turrets. In comes Cannonbro, trying to save the game. Loco, he was locked up by the Tempered Fate, and that means he couldn't save the minion waves from hitting the turrets. The Nexus is open. They're going to be taking it down. EYA, turn it around, make it 1-2 now in this series. They're not down just yet.
This was a game that showed that Eliandre esports can come back and get the wins they need. If they played like this in the next 2 games, we could see them winning.
Looking at the damage stats at the end of the game there. Despite the fact they lost, Loco still did the most damage in the game. So all 3 games so far, Loco has done the most damage in the game. He's been absolutely insane so far, but even his best efforts weren't enough to keep his team alive in this game, and they did go down. Still 2-1 in their favor, but might be a reverse sweeping coming if EYA are able to keep this up, and you'll be able to see in the next game whether they are able to do so or whether it will be the 3-1 coming through for the Small Loans. Join us again very soon when that game will be commencing.
See this storm come rolling in, but you don't know me like you say you do. Will I run and find myself, or will I bite the dust and stay with you? You can help me breathe, but only if I let you. I wanna let you in, but easily forget you. I try to settle down and try to worry less, settle down and try to get some rest. You lay with open eyes, head against my chest. All my life I've been so cold. I break the hourglass and watch time unfold. And I try to make it back in this raging sea, 'cause I'm way too deep. All my life I've been so cold. I break the hourglass and watch time unfold. And I try to make it back in this raging sea, 'cause I'm way too deep. 'Cause I'm way too All my life I've been so cold. I break the hourglass and watch time unfold. And I try to make it back in this raging sea, 'cause I'm way too deep. 'Cause I'm way too deep.
Close your eyes, seek paradise. Won't change your mind, can't shake the lights. I'll take the chance and roll the dice. I want it all, just for the night. I live it out like I'll never die. I lose my head in the starry skies. Can't chain you down, I feel so alive. Back down is only one way out. I let you run my life, now you won't get me down. Untamed, guess I lost my mind. You turn me inside out, no one can stop me now. So turn up the light, turn up the light. This is what I waited for, 'cause the clock keeps ticking, hard for me to keep up. I can't take it no more, 'cause the time keeps turning, feels just like it speeds up. It's what I waited for. Close your eyes, seek paradise. Won't change your mind, can't shake the light. I'll take the chance and roll the dice. Just wanna feel the stars surround, the atmosphere never to come down. I'll stand alone, whether right or wrong. It
had
Hello,
some
everybody, and welcome back to Game 4 now of the Vespa Conference League final between Team Small Loans on the blue side and Eliandra Esport on the purple side right now. It's Eliandra Esport picked up the win in last game, Game 3, making it 2-1 now in favour of the Small Loans still, and be able to see if in this game Eliandra continue to mount this comeback or whether it will be 3-1 and the whole match and series being taken by the Small Loans. My name is Tasty Aldar, and with me is Mighty Waffle.
Hello, I do have some bad news for you. You're gonna have to do the summoning, the bans and picks by yourself because my client bugged. It's
Right,
been happening a lot.
Okay, so you're not currently in the.
No,
you can't see
I
it.
was kicked out. I was kicked out from the lobby. So.
Okay.
I
So in that case, I will narrate what is happening, and you can look on the stream, and there'll be a bit of a delay, but you can see roughly what's going on, and you can see the team comps, that sort of thing. We have all the bans have already come through, same bans, exactly the same bans as last game, I do believe. Echo, Toronto. Actually, no, Gragas was banned out this time away from Swine, who picked it up in the last one. No, in fact, Swine's team banned it, so they didn't want Bleo or Asprox to pick that one up, and Nidalee, Kindred, and Alistar have also been banned, so targeting Kake with the jungle bans there, as well as the Alistar for Moro, considering his Morgana was, let's say, less than impressive. Maokai was the initial lock-in, that's the first pick once again, Swine picking that one up, and that's the fourth game in a row now. Maokai not banned has been the first pick so far. Azir has made it through now, as well as Elise. Once again, Asprox picking that one up for the second game in a row, and it will be Azir locked in for Frickson as well.
Azir is a very weird champion because if you do very well with him, you can get a very good advantage and snowball the lane and get some picks in the mid game. Obviously, later on, if you jump into everyone, you're just gonna die. But it's been the champion that's been banned in the last 4 games. So now we have it picked up. We're gonna see how it pans out against the team comp that Small Loans brings. We'll see if they can get it.
Indeed, and what has been got by the Small Loans is the fact that they have gone for the Lucian Braum bot lane. So that bot lane, that power bot lane combo has been picked up for Greenover and the Morrow. That means Morrow will be on a tankier champion, which he seemed much more comfortable on, and you know, I think he played Braum, I believe, in Game 2, and he seemed pretty good on it then, so... And Greenover, of course, pretty comfortable on Lucian. He's been playing it on and off so throughout this series so far, so we could see some good things coming through for that bot lane. Meanwhile, on the other side, Nautilus has been locked in. That'll be going to Bleo in the top lane for Eliandra, and it is Thresh, the play-making support, if you will, for Sorrow in the bottom lane.
Thresh versus Braum, it could be okay, because you can... pull the Braum over your carry and allow your carry to deal as much damage as he wants to the enemy ADC. But we'll see how he can use that pick towards winning the laning phase.
Yeah.
Do we have any more picks?
No, Greeno is
it.
going for a bit of a troll hover right now. I think he's poking a bit of fun at the Morrow by hovering Morgana, which did end up going 0-11 last game. It's changed it to Lee Sin, which would be an interesting pickup for Kake in the jungle. It would be the style of jungler we're used to seeing him play. High impact, high playmaking, early game carry jungler. Speaking of early game carries, or indeed carries in general, Loco will not be going back to Gangplank, which was not banned still, and it still made it all the way through picks, but instead he picks up the LeBlanc in the middle lane.
That's an interesting pick. You can use it to roam and to assist other lanes, and you can also use it as a lane bully. You can just poke a bit and go back out. And versus an Azir it's also very good if you can dodge the wall. So we'll see if how the LeBlanc pick pans out versus the Azir.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Loco, we could see him putting some pretty high levels of pain on towards Frickson, unless Frickson's able to play safe enough on the Azir, of course. Can always stand very far back, but LeBlanc solo killing an Azir doesn't seem like something that's all that unlikely to happen. So, last pick coming through just now for DesAD, and it is Caitlyn that will be locked in for him.
Caitlyn, it's a decent champion to play on this matchup, making the use of his range to get out of the problems that they have facing that duo in the bottom lane. So it can be a good pick to counteract the fact that they are gonna be very strong in the early levels. We'll see if they can use some of the potential that Elise has, as well as the potential that Lee Sin has in the early game. And sorry, that was my dog.
It's alright, you can barely hear it anyway. And some of the spells are about to be locked in right now. Got 4, 3, 2, 1, and they are locked. So that means we'll be seeing 1 Ignite on each side. 1 for LeBlanc. Obviously Loco taking that one to the middle lane against the TP for Frickson's Azir. And Sorrow will be running Ignite on his Thresh in the bottom lane, which the Morrow will not be reciprocating with as he picks up Exhaust.
Okay, I am now spectating the game, so I am back.
Okay, welcome.
So we have. It's interesting. The TP on Azir, you can argue that an Ignite or a barrier would be an advantage to use against LeBlanc, but that TP signals that they want to do some type of play around the map, even though we have been seeing a lot of TPs and not that many plays around the map. Just a bit of flanking and not that much in terms of early game pressure. We'll see. Obviously, we have the pick from Thresh, the Ignite. So a bit of kill potential on the bot lane if they cut out Green over, but we'll see.
Yeah, DesAD, he'll be looking to try and bully out Green over, but if he steps too far forward, a Winter's Bite might connect with him, and in that case, Concussive Blow Stack will be racking up very quickly with the Light Slinger passive from Green over's Lucian, so he's going to have to play it quite safely compared to how most Caitlyn's would play most lanes, and of course, the fact that the Braum Shield is there also could potentially block Ace in the Holes, it could block Piltover Peacemakers, it could just block regular headshot auto attacks as well, so it could make DesAD's life a bit of a struggle in the bot side if Morrow is able to block the vast majority of his damage.
Well, let's see how he can play versus it, but most likely they will try to have a safe lane, letting them push and trying to get the picks inside tower range. This top lane is reoccurrent. We have been seeing most of the games.
Yeah, 3 out of the 4 games now.
And Maokai. This type of lane, basically they're saying we're not gonna kill each other eventually, but we are gonna be a very high potential threat inside the team fight. So they will have some type of usage inside team fights, but not so in the early levels. Apart from that, we have a pretty standard team comp on both sides. Again, a team fight team comp on both sides.
Indeed. Is exactly what we're getting here, and delay remaining 1 second, and here we go into the game. The game 4 of the Conference League final, into the loading screen at least, and we'll be able to see those Keystone Masteries and the skins, and as well as the players' personal masteries of their champions, although I feel like we've seen quite a few of these before. A couple of new champions to the board. LeBlanc, Lee Sin. We've only seen 1 Caitlyn so far this series as well, and the Azir, of course, being a new champion. There's a few new things to look at in this game.
We will see if they can get a different type of approach and try to win a couple more games inside of Eliandria. Obviously, we already know they're gonna do that going towards the wolves in the beginning of the game. So we're gonna see another demonstration of lack of synergy on their part. So that will be
Yeah,
interesting.
absolutely. And this time Des AD can't join in with the lack of synergy because he doesn't even have a mastery emote to flash, nor does Morrow on that Braum, but I think he had one on Morgana and we saw how that one went, so, mastery
So
emotes don't mean everything.
it will be the one that's more out of sync with his team, not even using the mastery emote.
Yeah. Although last time they misused them and they ended up winning the game, so clearly my theory about the correlation between the use of the mastery emotes and winning the game has been debunked. And as soon as we get into the game, we get a lovely pause as we see glorious level 5 mastery hovering over Greenover's head there.
It's interesting. I was watching the Keystones. Thresh as Thunderlords.
Oh, interesting. Getting a little bit of burst damage in lane when he lands the hooks, I suppose.
Yeah, I like Thunderlords on Thresh just because you get a little bit of damage towards getting the kill more efficiently and faster. So let's see if they do something to win that. Why is my client bugging?
Well, apparently, Frixen's client may also be bugging. Apparently, that's the cause of this pause. There's a bug for Frixen, so this might be a problem for him. We'll have to see. We'll try and get back into the game as soon as we can. Yeah, the client not been serving us all that well today. It looks like it's done now, though. And a little fun fact that Greeno has provided in chat for me to give to you guys is that you can still see the classic dragon flying around the map, even though the elemental drags are in the game. When you look at the top side of the map for the dragon, it is the classic dragon you see. According to him, at least. I'm not entirely sure about the reputability of that source, but if it's true, then there's a little bit of a fact for you as we wait. And now, see once again EYA going for their classic defensive death brush. And once again, we see absolutely no one on the enemy team going anywhere near it whatsoever. It's not worked at all, and you wonder how many times they're going to keep trying it.
Yeah, they've used that basically they already know on the other team that they're gonna do that, so it's not gonna happen an early invade on that side of the jungle.
Yeah, it just all at any point in this game. So.
Oh, and we have the Master Yakon. Yeah. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Popping.
The game, once again, DesAD and Sorrow not actually starting the jungle camp. It's peculiar they keep going for this. Do you think there's any real merit in not starting it?
It has some merit if you do what they did last game. You get the small one to get an XP advantage, but on the Grom side, you can't do that. So.
Frixen missed the first 3 CS of the wave there. He manages to get this, the first 2 now for him coming through, but that was not the best CSing there by him.
Yes, so this will mean that he's gonna have a bit of a disadvantage, not much, but...
Dara going for an aggressive hook early, but that Piltover Peacemaker flew a bit wide and didn't make any peace. Morrow will be able to heal up that health that he lost from the hook in no time at all.
The first Drake is the Ocean Drake, so a very important Drake to pick up, so that gives you mana and health regen per second.
Yeah, it gives you 10% of your missing health and mana every 18 seconds at the first rank.
Yeah, that's a very strong champion Drake. Sorry, because if you stack those, later on you'll have combat stats that shouldn't be there, because it regens you throughout the fight. It doesn't stop regenning you. So
absolutely, and if you get the third stack of it, if 3 of those dragons come through, that'll be every 6 seconds. There'll just be a huge burst of health and mana regen for them, which That's going to be frustrating if you're fighting against someone and then that comes through, the 10% missing health and mana thing comes through, and suddenly they've got all that health and mana back again, just when you thought you were about to kill them.
Yeah, it's a very snowballing Drake, and if they get prolonged fights with that Drake, they're just gonna win it. In the mid lane, we see a bit of early aggression on the side of Loco, trying to get a nice chunk of damage.
Good chain.